bank account and garnish your wages. They cause sleepless nights for millions of Americans. Don't be one of them. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state, get protected today. Call 800-312-9970. Coast One Tax Group, protecting your bank, home, and your sleep since 2008. With hundreds of 5-star reviews and an A+ on the Better Business Bureau. Call Coast One Tax Group, 800-312-9970. Stanley from New York owed $93,000. The IRS placed a levy on his bank account. Coast One released the levy and settled with the IRS for $2,000. Mark in Michigan owed $225,000. After Coast One stepped in, Mark walked away paying less than $1,500. Call Coast One now. A 10-minute call can save you up to 93% on your back taxes. Get your fresh start today. That's 800-312-9970.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen, Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
It's time to get in the game.
Do you know what time it is?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
You are nothing.
Your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Come on, start it up. Let's go.
Catch us Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome into a special edition of Centex Primetime here on Black Friday. Hope everybody is doing well today. Everybody moving a little bit slower after trying to shake off some of that turkey and dressing or stuffing, as we talked about on Wednesday, whichever one you call it. Trying to shake off that turkey from yesterday. Still happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays to everybody out there. Definitely hope everybody had a great time and got a chance to enjoy being around their family and friends on this Thanksgiving holiday. A much needed break for everybody. I know everybody's been working hard. I know I have these last few weeks. So this was a much needed break for a lot of people. And thank you guys for joining in and tuning in with us today on, like I said, a special edition of Centex Primetime, a Black Friday episode, a little bit different, a little bit of a switch up from what we usually do here today, but still bringing you guys some sports content, plenty to talk about, as we've got obviously NFL games yesterday. We got NFL games today as the Chiefs and the Raiders are in the middle of a battle right now on Black Friday, playing on Amazon Prime. Chiefs with a narrow 2-point victory over the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders had a football with about 2 minutes left, so we'll talk a little bit about that game, but we'll break it down more on Monday when we come back. We'll have a little more time to look at the film and see how everything has been going. Once again, want to thank everybody for tuning in. As always, go over to the YouTube, Centex Sports Network / Centex Sports TV on YouTube. Make sure you go on there and check us out and hit that subscribe button. Click that bell so you can get notified when we go live here weekdays 5 to 7 p.m. Also, you can download the app on your mobile device. Centex Sports 1. You can go on the Google Play Store or on the Apple Store and download that app, Centex Sports 1, so you can be able to listen to this on Infinity Sports Radio, Central Texas. Well, folks, like I said, it was a full weekend, or week. I'm already thinking it's the weekend. Full week so far of sports. We got NFL action. We got NBA action. There's been NBA games on all today. I tried to cook up a little small parlay for a Friday. Nothing crucial. Don't worry, it's already in the trash because Cleveland lost to the Hawks, and they haven't lost all season. But now when I bet on them for the first time, now is the time they decide they want to go out here and lose a game. But it's all good. Got NBA going. Men's basketball and college basketball is going. Women's basketball and college basketball going on too as well. Watched West Virginia get an upset over Gonzaga yesterday. Gonzaga, top 5 team in the nation as always. West Virginia, another Big 12 team. The toughest basketball conference in college basketball is the Big 12, and I think it's been like that for years. Now adding in some more schools like Arizona and stuff is just even making it even more of a tough conference. But Big 12 came out with a win in that game yesterday. Baylor, shout out to them Bears. They got a win yesterday over the University of New Orleans. They've been looking pretty decent, like the young freshmen out there as well. But, folks, we want to start with a little bit of football. College football going on right now. I watched, like a lot of you probably did this morning as you were waking up out of a food coma, watched Colorado completely destroy Oklahoma State earlier today, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit later on in the show. I mean, that was just that was pretty bad. Joining me in studio today, I got PJ Gaither, who's been calling in with us over the last couple of days. But in studio today, PJ, what's going on?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm doing pretty good today.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was we saw earlier with Oklahoma State and Colorado, but I don't know how a team could fall off to the point that Oklahoma State is falling off, and they got some Centex guys on their team too, so shout out to them. But man, Oklahoma State is kind of taking a dive so far.
We gotta do a little bit of research as to what happened to them, man. You think they're gonna fire Mike Gundy? I think they're gonna fire him. You go 0-9 in conference.
It's gonna be hard not to. He's the longest tenured coach probably in the NCAA right now, and I think it's probably hard to not fire him. I don't want to see that. I like Mike Gundy at Oklahoma State, but yeah. It's hard to answer for 0-9 in conference.
Got to be some consequences when you go 0-9.
And you were projected to be, if not the winner, a top 3 team in this Big 12. You go 0-9. And then your last game of the season, I saw him out there clapping and talking about this is just the game we wanted before the game started, and you lose 52-0 is absolutely nasty work.
Hey, this ain't the game you wanted. Hey, I don't think that's the game you wanted, man. Y'all were 0-8 going into this game, 3-8, and that's the 3 games before the conference game started.
Yeah,
that's unacceptable, man. When you think about it with Oklahoma State, because they were projected to win. They usually are projected to win the Big 12 almost every other year.
Yeah.
Or really,
especially with Oklahoma going out, with Oklahoma and Texas going out, they look like the dogs left in the conference.
They're the last powerhouse really in the conference.
That's over with as they go out and get blown out 52-0, and we'll be checking in on this. I'll keep you guys updated on this Chiefs-Raiders game. Right now, 2 minutes left. The Chiefs just got the ball back. They're up by 2 points, so that game's over. I'll go ahead and be the spoiler for you guys. They not giving them the ball back, and they gonna run it out. They running the air out the football. Also joining in, we got Kyrell Gibson with us today as well. Kyrell, what's going on?
What's going on, fam? What's going on, man?
Ain't nothing much.
It's been a minute since I've been on the show, but it's been a good week. Got a good play yesterday, despite not going back home, man. I want to speak about that too, man. But I might have to get him talk to my granny, man. Gotta step a game up, man.
Man, come on, bro. How you gonna tell it? He gonna tell the granny to step the game up in the kitchen. Come on, man.
Improve the franchise, man.
No, you don't mess.
Play yesterday.
You don't mess with the mainstays. Her jerseys in the rafters. You don't mess with them.
Hey, look, my granny in Oxford right now.
No, for real.
My granny in Oxford, Mississippi, at the beach.
Man, shout out, Granny, man, because I knew I was gonna get me some fried turkey.
I knew it too.
I just knew I was gonna get me some fried turkey, but it's all right. It's all right. We're gonna check back in when she tucks back into Texas. And once again, folks, want to wish everybody a happy holidays. Hope everybody got a chance to, just kick it with some family yesterday, talk to them over the phone, however you got to do it. definitely always a good time to kick it with fam and to figure out and identify all the people in the family that can't cook because that always happens every single Thanksgiving as well. Yeah, that ends up getting exposed. Each year, somebody comes with something new, and somebody gets exposed as being the one that, hey, next year, you ain't got to worry about it, bro. We're not going to call on you. So definitely hope everybody got a chance to kick it with some fam. So going to these football games from yesterday, obviously the breaking news this morning was that the Chicago Bears have fired their coach. And now, to some people, that might be a shocker. To myself, I thought that Matt Eberflus should have got fired before they came into the season. I was actually shocked seeing how, okay, we're going to have a new quarterback. We're kind of starting over here as a franchise, that they decided to go into this with Matt Eberflus, seeing how he hasn't proved to do much of anything in the, 3 years he's been there now. So I was shocked that he had the job coming into the season. And then after they went 4-1, it was like, oh, okay, maybe Eberflus can coach. Some people thought, once again, I wasn't one of those people. Man, maybe he can coach. Maybe he can do something out there. And, he just needed a new quarterback. Since they started 4-1, and we're right there in the wild card discussions, and Kyrell looked like a genius in his prediction for the Bears to win that conference or that division because they were right there at the top of the division, 4-1. They've lost every single game since then. And a lot of that is due to a lot of different things. It's due to Shane Waldron, who was fired as the offensive coordinator. Thought they should have went and got rid of Eberflus then. You already firing Shane Waldron. What you keeping Eberflus for? Now you fire him as well after the Bears just lose in one of the most confusing fashions. I don't think I've seen a final minute of a game, maybe minute and a half of a game, butched more than I've seen that one yesterday. Just absolutely shocking. I was ready to come on here and applaud Caleb Williams, even though he didn't have the greatest game. He showed some signs of what he's done multiple times this year. Yesterday's game, he showed some signs of, hey, this guy can play. He made some throws. I'm like, okay, that's a really good throw. He got out of some situations out of the pocket, made some things happen. I'm like, okay, this is why they drafted number 1. This is some of the stuff we saw at USC. But as bad as the coaching was yesterday in that final drive, I wasn't a fan of a lot of the decisions made by Caleb Williams. You get all the way into the red zone, and it goes from we can kick a field goal to tie this up to, hey, we can go win this game. We can score a touchdown. Then a penalty happens. That's not on Caleb Williams. That's just on the Bears being the Bears. Then after you take a penalty with only, at this point now, like 40 seconds left, you got to get rid of the ball. He takes a sack, and in that situation, you cannot take a sack. You just cannot take a sack. The only thing that made it worse from him taking that sack is that his coach just sat there and watched all the time run off the clock to the point that Caleb Williams, when they finally got everybody lined up.
It was like 7 seconds left.
By the time they got everybody lined up, he had to call a completely different play because there ain't no get a quick play and get out of bounds, so let's kick a field goal, which is going to be a 59-yard field goal if they kick from where they were at. But at that point, hey, that just is what it is. You got to at least attempt it. So they ended up having to throw a Hail Mary off the fly pretty much with no one knowing what's going on, just chunk the ball in the air and see if anybody can make a play. For no reason, when you had the ball, with a minute left to go, you had the ball probably 30 yards away from the end zone.
They let 27 seconds go off the clock.
27 seconds go off the clock as they line up, not knowing what to do. I don't know if the play didn't get in. I don't know if Caleb Williams didn't call the play. Yeah. I don't know what happened. It was a botched situation by everybody involved, and Matt Eberflus paid the ultimate price for it because he's never going to be a head coach again. So, when you see a guy like this at the age that he's at, he's not just a super old guy, but they gave you multiple chances, multiple cracks at it, at being at doing something here as a head coach. You're not going to get that job again. Will he be a coach again? For sure. These dudes rotate coaches. I mean, Mike Zimmer's a coach right now. So we don't have to worry about a guy who's going to get another chance. Before that, the Cowboys had Mike Norvell as a coach, as a defensive coordinator. Somebody's going to get a chance at another coach. Will he get another head coaching job? Probably not. That was probably it for him. He paid the ultimate price for that complete botch situation yesterday. Lions win again, 23-20. Bears fall to 4-8, 0-5 on the road now. Detroit Lions move to 11-1. First place in the NFC still. Looking like a Super Bowl contender still in this game. So, PJ, I'll start with you, man. What is your thoughts about this wild scenario that we saw yesterday with the Bears?
That was just absolutely ridiculous. I don't understand. When they got back to the line, it was 34 seconds left. and they just let all the clock just run out. I'm like, bro, I'm not a Bears fan, but I'm a football fan, so I'm screaming like, hike the ball. By the time they hike the ball, it's like 7 seconds left. And so now you having to force a Hail Mary play that you really wasn't even prepared for. You only got one guy down the field. They got like 2 guys down the field on him. It was really stupid. I don't know. It was just stupid. I don't know what they were thinking. When they asked, I think Caleb after the game, he was like, I was trying to change the play or whatever. I don't really want to put it all on him or even, but some of it got to be put on him too, because you can call timeout as a quarterback. I understand he's a rookie, but you can call timeout.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, y'all both know that y'all got one. He didn't call timeout. Like, you can take the timeouts home with you.
He's home for good now with that one timeout still.
Like, what you doing saving timeouts for? Y'all got one more timeout, bro. Just go ahead and call timeout. So that was really stupid. He really just cost himself a job. He probably will be a coordinator somewhere. You know what I mean? Or he might get demoted to college with that type of, that was just dumb on his part. And then Caleb as well, man. That's going to come as he, continues to play in the league. But he could have possibly called timeout as well. But like I say, it's mostly on the coach, because you got to know that you got one more timeout and that it's only a few more seconds left.
Yeah, you have to know that. You have to know that. Both parties have to know that. But like you said, Caleb Williams is a rookie. I ain't going to put all that on him. And then he had to panic when he got to the end, and he had to change the play, because I'm sure their play was just get something in the middle of the field and then call a timeout really quick. But you can't do that with 7 seconds left because the clock is run out. So now you got to change to a Hail Mary potentially.
You know what I would have done? I would have just told all the receivers.
He probably was trying to, and they don't know what's going on either. Yeah. He probably tried to say that, and the only one looks like they responded was DJ Moore.
Yeah,
who was the only one that ran downfield. And it was just a terrible, terrible situation at the end of the game. The game ended up being a good game. I thought that game was going to be terrible. It ended up being a good game. Caleb Williams, 20 for 39. That's not too great, going 50% on your passes like that, but still had 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. I like when my quarterback comes out with no picks. Outside of that, especially if you're a rookie, outside of that, whatever happens in there is what happens, unless you're doing like Anthony Richardson and going for like 3 for 20. If you're doing something crazy like that, okay, then that's a serious issue.
I feel bad for DJ Moore, man, because you could just tell during the interview after the game, he really want to say some stuff.
Yeah.
He can't.
Well, I think a lot of them are gonna say some stuff now that their coach is fired, because I don't think any of them left that game feeling the type of way about Caleb Williams.
Yeah,
I think everybody left that game feeling the way about the guy whose job is to call timeouts and Matt Eberflus, and him just sitting there and watching everybody run around like a chicken with their head cut off. Honestly, in this game, DJ Moore 8 catches, 97 yards, a touchdown. Keenan Allen 73 yards, 5 catches, 2 touchdowns. I've never understood all year why they don't throw the ball to Keenan Allen. Both his routes for touchdowns was just nasty. I mean, it was, and especially that last one. It's like, bro, did y'all forget Keenan Allen's one of the best route runners? I know you're a boxer, PJ, and they call that the sweet science.
Yeah.
That's what they call boxing. I feel the same way about route running. I think it is a sweet science whenever somebody is a for real true route runner, and that is Keenan Allen. And why he doesn't get the ball, I don't know. He only got 5 catches yesterday, 2 of them was touchdowns. It's almost like they should throw him the ball more. I don't know what's going. Can we stop throwing the ball to Cole Kmet and giving him and letting him get 9 catches for 30 yards?
He shouldn't even be getting the ball.
That's been Caleb Williams' favorite target. I don't know why. DJ Moore finally getting back in action. He got a touchdown. On the Detroit side, I guess Sonic and Knuckles, as they call themselves, they go for $190 in this game. I mean, it's crazy. David Montgomery, 88 yards. Jahmyr Gibbs, 87 yards. Gibbs only had 9 carries, though, and got that 87 yards. Montgomery, 3 catches, 36 yards to go along with it. Amon-Ra, 5 catches, 73 yards. Just a balanced game, the usual for the Detroit Lions. The usual. What I didn't like is I seen some flaws there towards the end of that and how they kind of let the Bears get back into that game. And it's like, okay, when you're playing the Eagles, you're not going to be able to do that, because we talked about the Eagles a couple days ago. The Eagles are a team. We got to start looking at the Eagles like, this is, and I said it on Wednesday, this Eagles team looks better than the Eagles team to me that went to the Super Bowl. So, I mean, when you're playing teams like that, when you're playing teams in your division like the Green Bay Packers, you can't do some of those mistakes, have some of those mistakes that they had in that game yesterday. Kyrell, what are your thoughts, man, about the way this game ended with the Bears and this whole debacle.
Yeah, man, you gotta. They did exactly like this is the best thing they could have did, man. Like there's a step in the right direction from being a dysfunctional franchise. You fired that dude.
Yeah.
Y'all was at the 50 with 3 minutes to go and ran out of time.
Facts. Facts.
What? What? Bro, I thought they might have. I'm like, man, am I remembering this correctly? Like, I'm pretty sure they had the ball with like 5 minutes to go, started the drive like 5 or 6 minutes to go, and then or 4 minutes to go, and got to the 50 with like 2.5, 3 minutes to go, and I come back for making me another plate. The game over, and they didn't do anything.
You was two plays in and 145.
That's crazy,
man, dude. I'm telling you, man. I drafted Wimbenyama yesterday, man. That's why I got to talk to my granny. Hey, we gotta make some changes in this front office. Get you some help, get a new line. But anyway, man, back to Eberflus. Yeah, man. Like Caleb Williams, he could have called a timeout. Honestly, like if he was a little bit more aware. But he's just not, and he's a rookie. You could tell, like, his timing looked like he was on college football timing, like the clock stopped after the first down. On that last play, I was like, yeah, he was a little slow. But the game ended, man, and the camera cut to Eberflus. He's looking at the clock. Like, man, what is you doing? What is you doing? You're fired. You're fired. Go home. Because that's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Y'all didn't even attempt to kick the kick, man. And I'm looking at the bottom of the screen, like, man, is that a glitch? It say they got a timeout. Is that a glitch? Like, what they doing? I thought it was the videographer or whatever was messing up because it said they got a timeout. I was like, man, they not calling nothing. What is going, bro? Jalen, they was at the 50 with 2.5 minutes to go and ran out of time.
They was on the 20 with like 1:40 to go. Man. And they ended back up on the 50 with 0 seconds left.
That is the worst debacle of coaching I've ever seen, or clock management I've ever seen. Like worse McCarthy, all them Cowboys
Jason
stuff.
Garrett, all of them.
All that stuff we saw from the Cowboys these last couple of years of poor clock management. That's worse. That's the worst. That was horrible. And then you have a rookie quarterback out there. You should be watching the clock for him. I thought that was like common knowledge. When you got a rookie, man, the coach takes on those responsibilities so he don't have to be worried about everything. You already a quarterback in the NFL, and just your first time doing this, and you paint your nails. So you just got so much on your mind, man. You're trying to read the defense. You're trying to do all this, call the right play, and the coach can't even handle the clock for you. And y'all run out of time. Y'all can't kick the field goal, bro. Oh, man. He wouldn't have been on the bus. I'm telling you, like, they ain't no ride back home. I know it ain't that far of a drive up there, and things different in the north. Unlike Texas, take 10 hours to get across state. But, they probably be over there in 3 hours or something like that or something crazy.
Man, they flew. They rich. They took a 10-minute flight.
They flew. Well, he wouldn't have been flying. I tell you that right now. He would have got a yellow cab. A yellow cab or whatever. Maybe, he's still a millionaire, so
Yeah, I'm about to say he rich. He just called somebody to go get him.
Maybe Uber XL, but I would have called him a yellow cab just to make a point. He could have got what he wanted to get. But that's, man, yeah, no more head coaching for him. I probably wouldn't even let him be an OC. He can be like a quarterback coach, though, maybe. But
he a defensive guy.
Oh, is he? I thought he was like a quarterback guru. Was that the guy before?
That was Matt Nagy, who's back on Kansas City now. Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, man, that was horrible. I felt really bad for
quarterback guru.
Because you know how they
hired
just because he was Kansas City's offensive coordinator.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, I shouldn't say guru, but quarterback guys like
yeah, that's what they do.
Yeah,
they be giving.
But man, I was disgusted. I was disgusted, like disgusted. I don't even like the Bears, man, or the Lions, like But that was disgusting. That was disgusting football right there. I was like, man, yeah. When y'all texted the group chat and said he got fired, I was like, yeah, yeah, right on time. Probably a couple hours too late because I would have threw his plate in the trash. I would have did so much stuff, man. Like, yeah, you gonna eat outside.
You'd have did it like Cameron on Pay the Food.
Man, for real. Like,
no noodles, no nothing.
Exactly like that, because, man. And then just his face. Jay, that's the last thing I'm gonna say. His face when they cut the camera and the game was over and they cut the camera to him and he looking up at the scoreboard confused. Boy, artist. Hey, if I'm the owner, I'm slapping you, bro. Like,
Yeah, I know some of them.
yeah,
DJ Moore looked like he wanted to steal off.
Yeah.
man,
After the
what?
game, he looked pretty hot, like he wanted to steal off on
You
dude.
gotta slap, dude, man. Fix your face.
Yeah,
But yeah, man.
it was bad. Like you said, one of the worst last minutes. They were on the 50 with at least a couple minutes left. When it went to the 2-minute warning, they were on probably like the 39 to 38. You're already in field goal range. They ended up getting another play, got holding, got sacked. And then in between each play, like you said, I understand, it's the coach's job to call these plays. In between each play, why were they taking so much time? Because in that little time span we talking about from the 2-minute warning to it being that, they only ran like 2 plays. They took like 30 seconds off the clock almost each time in between each play. I don't know why. I don't even know what was going on with that. But the Bears come out with the loss. They just do Bear stuff. And they went from looking like a team like, hey, we got a chance to make the playoffs to it's probably going to be a team with a top 10 pick. They're 4-8. They're 4-8 right now. Like, they started the season 4-1. And now they are 4-8. That's ridiculous. Rookie quarterback or not. Me and Quay talked about it earlier in the week, talking about how we weren't sold on Caleb Williams. And like I said then, it wasn't me not being sold on him being a good player. I think he can be. But this generational talent stuff that everybody keeps throwing out, and I know he's a rookie, he can still become one. I just said I don't think he is one. I think he can be a good quarterback in the league. But when I think generational, I think, Patrick Mahomes. I think the first years of Deshaun Watson's career, that's generational talent. If you don't end up doing his other stuff, he was a generational talent in Houston. But I don't see Caleb Williams. He could be a good quarterback, a really good quarterback. But I don't see him just being the ultimate game changer like they expected him to come out be. But that only time will tell that. Still got plenty of time. Bad part is he's on the Bears, and this is what the Bears have done for eternity. They've never had a 4,000-yard passer in their history. Caleb Williams is going to be the first one, which is ridiculous to say because they're one of the original franchises in the NFL. They've been a team for 100 years. He ain't never had a 4,000-yard passer. Nasty work. So Matt Eberflus gets fired after that whole situation yesterday. Legend has it is that he still has that timeout right now, even though he's at home. He still got it with him. I don't know what happened with that, but it ended up costing him his job. So Bears lose, Lions improve. Lions still looking like the team to beat. I seen Zadarius Smith making some plays on that D-line yesterday. And, it's just unfortunate that they don't have Aiden Hutchinson if they get to the Super Bowl. He's still saying he can come back and play if they get there, but they would have to get to the Super Bowl, and that's still a maybe. He'll probably pull like a J.J. Watt or something and go out there on one leg. So that game was yesterday. Still 2 more games happened yesterday. We'll talk about them in just a second. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, got to talk about the Dallas Cowboys winning again. Mike is saying we're getting ready to go on a run right now with this Dallas Cowboys team after they beat one of the worst football teams I've ever seen in the New York Giants. So we got plenty to talk about still here on Centex Primetime. Stay tuned and stay locked in. We'll be right back after this.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
and Infinity Sports.
Are you hungry for the best fried chicken in town? Check out Crispy Chicken #1, 11th and Clay, and their Monday and Tuesday special, the Snack Pack, which includes 2 pieces of chicken, fries, roll, and drink, all for only $6. Also, each Monday through Friday from 4 to 6, you can feed the family for $10 and receive 6 pieces of chicken, fries, and rolls. Crispy Chicken #1 features additional daily specials and also includes mouth-watering short ribs, fried catfish, and chicken fried steak. Locally owned and operated and a Waco tradition since 1975. That's Crispy Chicken #1 at 11th and Clay.
Are you looking for something new and unforgettable in Waco? Come to the Blasian Asian, where authentic Cambodian flavors meet creative culinary flair. Voted People's Choice as Waco's #1 Asian restaurant since 2019 by both the Wacoan Magazine and the Waco Tribune Herald. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin, we're serving up family recipes with a twist. Blasian Asian egg rolls are rolled fresh daily, and their sauces or marinades are made in-house with love. Stop by today. Located inside the popular Union Hall on 8th and Franklin. And for Baylor students, enjoy 10% off with your student ID.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas and a Centex Sports Network supporter. Voted Waco Awards Event Planner of the Year 2021, NSJ Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays 5 to 7. This is the Central Texas #1 leader in sports. Centex Sports Network.
That's right, sports fans. We can talk about sports.
And Infinity Sports. This is live from the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports Studios.
That's right, sports fans.
About to show these boys how we do it. You ready?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis, your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Prime Time here on this Black Friday show edition here today. Happy holidays to everybody out there. Y'all should be heating up your leftovers today. You should probably be on about your third plate. I had me one of them leftover plates before I even left the house. So, no, y'all should be doing the same right now. Unless you're Kyrell, who said he was 2 plates in at 1:45 yesterday. I've seen some crazy stuff. I didn't know that it could go down like that, Kyrell. 2 plates in at 1:45 is already kind of crazy, because usually black people don't start eating until about 3 or 4 o'clock. So to be 2 plates in at 1:45 already, I mean, I'm used to black folks eating around when the Cowboys game comes on. If you've already eaten, that's around the time you start getting to that second plate, maybe. Or
that man was starving.
Yeah,
he was starving.
Hey, Kyrell, you ain't eat the night before, bro. He wanted to. You was ready for.
No, man. Cuz run a tight ship, y'all. Cuz don't play no games.
Oh, okay, hey,
Food
that's
was
good.
ready.
Hey, that's good. That's good. I like to see the timeliness, because we know how we do it when the opposite go down. We start eating about 5, 6 o'clock. It used to be 8 when my great grandmother was alive and my aunt was alive. Man, we'll eat noon. We already eating food.
You ain't never lied.
Man, they ain't playing no game. Old people eat early. They wanted to get to it. And noon was just so all my uncles and stuff could get there.
Man,
if it was up to them, they would have been eating at 10 a.m.
Man, still got eye boogers at the table.
Man, come on, I'm just waking up. You know,
it was really like 2:30, man. But hey, 2 o'clock, single file line, man. I feel like I was at the Salvation Army.
He said it looked like one of the soup kitchens in there. But so we already talked about the game with the Bears. Matt Eberflus being fired. The Kansas City Chiefs just pulled out the win against the Raiders. And anything I know about Antonio Pierce as a coach, he is going to play Kansas City the toughest game that they're ever going to get. Every game he's coached them and played against them, either the Raiders have won or it's been a game all the way down to the wire. And every time the Raiders have been trash, but they find a way to come out and give Kansas City a tough game. I like Antonio Pierce as a coach. I hope they give him another chance. He's been out there with Jimmy G and Aiden O'Connell and Mr. Mustache as his quarterbacks so far in his young coaching career. Get a dude a chance, man. Don't do him the Lovie Smith way.
They really not giving him a chance, bro.
You're not right now. You're not even giving him a chance to be competitive.
Yeah.
Only good player is Max Crosby, and he smokes backwoods on national television. We've seen it. So you're only gonna get so much from this guy because his critical thinking skills aren't at the highest level. You in a national television interview and you firing the backwood like Sauce Walker said.
Yeah,
but He doesn't have nobody on that team. They give him another close game, though, 19-17 win. And once again, I just keep feeling like Kansas City Chiefs is on borrowed time. Every week I do my top 5 NFL teams. This week I had Kansas City at number 2 because these dudes just keep scraping by with a win. A win is a win. And I respect any wins in the NFL because NFL is hard to win in. But you keep scraping by with these wins, 2-point victories over the Raiders. They're 2-9. They're literally the worst team. Only team worse than them in the NFL right now is the New York Giants, who we're getting ready to talk about. The Chiefs, they keep just scraping by with these wins. They're 10-1, but I don't know. I had them in number 2, and Wayne Walker was on the show, as he always is with me on Wednesdays. He had them in number 3. So he everybody's starting to fall out of love with the Chiefs. Once everybody loves you, everybody's gonna start hating you if you continue that success. That's just the natural progression in life. And the Chiefs are starting to be at that hate territory now because everybody just waiting on them to lose a game, and they almost lost this one today. So speaking of teams that I hated and that everybody wants to lose, Dallas Cowboys come out with the win in their game yesterday against the New York Giants, a game that the final score looked a lot closer than what it was, 20-27, because it wasn't competitive. The first quarter was competitive. I think the end of the first quarter, the Giants had a 7-3 lead. And, the Cowboys, I'm not a Cowboys fan at all, not even in the slightest. But the Cowboys haters really kind of take it too far. Hey, man, you see the Cowboys finna go out here and lose to the Giants? Y'all knew they weren't going to lose to the Giants. I don't care who was at quarterback. They could have had, what's the dude I always say is the worst quarterback I've ever seen? Nate Peterman. They could have had Nathan Peterman, who's probably the worst quarterback I've ever seen put on an NFL jersey. They could have had him at quarterback yesterday, and they're going to win. It's the Giants. And the Cowboys come out there and they get a win against the Giants in this game, 20-27. Cooper Rush, 21 for 36, 195 yards, and a touchdown, no picks. Like I said, I don't care what your stat line is. You don't got no picks. You did all right with me as a quarterback. Drew Lock in this game, 21 for 32, 178 yards, no touchdowns and a pick. He led the Giants in rushing, 4 carries, 57 yards, and a touchdown in that game. Tyrone Tracy, 32 yards and a touchdown. Malik Neighbors, 8 catches, 69 yards. I was watching the game yesterday, and I said, one thing I can respect about when the backup quarterback gets in, they're going to throw the ball to that number 1 receiver. I mean, y'all are terrible. Why not give Malik Neighbors, he had 13 targets. Why not give him 20 targets? What do you have to lose? He's really good at football, and everybody else on the Giants is really bad at football. Besides, shout out Dexter Lawrence and Kayvon Thibodeau and those dudes on the front 7. I think they're good. Everybody else on the Giants is bad at football. Malik Neighbors is really good. Just give him the ball every time. Rico Dowdell, 22 carries, 112 yards, and a touchdown. The first 100-yard rusher for the Dallas Cowboys since week 3 of last season. So Rico Dowdell finally breaks over the 100-yard mark, somebody for the Cowboys, after a year and some change of not having a 100-yard rusher.
Who rushed for 100 yards last year?
I have to go look that up. I'm not sure who was the 100-yard. Who was y'all? Oh, wasn't TP was still on the team. It had to be Pollard.
Okay.
So their last 100-yard rusher for over a year. Kevontae Turpin, 4 catches, 53 yards. He was the leading receiver for the Dallas Cowboys yesterday. Brandon Cooks came back yesterday. He got a touchdown in the game. I seen them trying to throw a couple long balls to Jonathan Mingo, trying to make themselves look smart by trading for him. Trading a 4th-round pick for him. That didn't work out at all. But Michael Parsons played good in the game, had 1.5 sacks in that one, 4 QB hits. He's putting the defense on his back. I got to give a shout-out to him. After the game, he had some interesting comments. He said, we're getting ready to go on a run. Y'all need to watch out for the Cowboys because we're getting ready to go on a run. And he's out there playing, and he's battling. I understand it. I get it. You want to think that. How could you not think that as a player? You're going out here putting your life on the line every time you step in between those lines. You got to think like that. But you played the Giants, man. You got to win by 7 points over the worst football team in the National Football League. You beat the New York Giants with a backup. I don't care who was in there because Daniel Jones is sorry too. But you played that 3rd-string quarterback, though, for the worst team in the league. You won by 7, and you said, we're getting ready to go on a run. And, I knew this was going to happen when they beat the Commanders because they're not mathematically eliminated. And I think the only team in the NFL right now that is mathematically eliminated from the playoffs is the Giants. I think every other team right now mathematically still has even a 1% chance of making the playoffs, except for one team in the entire league, and it's the New York Giants. So, yeah, I get what you're saying, Micah, but you got to chill out a little bit. And they're sitting at 5-7 right now, which at the beginning of the season with how bad they looked, 5-7 doesn't look that bad. The thing is, this is the same record I thought they would have to this point, even if Dak Prescott was playing. Everybody's gonna say, "Oh, we did this with the backup." This was what was gonna change about the record if Dak was playing. Most of these L's are with Dak as a quarterback. So they're 5-7. We got 2 Cowboys fans on here. Do the Cowboys even need to be going? First off, what you think about the game? Neither one of y'all probably had many thoughts about the game at all. Should the Cowboys be going for trying to get to the playoffs, or should they just go out there and just, see what happens? Do they try to make a push, or do you just get ready for next year? Kyrie, I'll start with you, man. What do you think the Cowboys should do in this scenario?
Man, just keep doing what they doing. Like we don't have to tank. We just gonna lose naturally, man. Like
honestly,
I don't know what they think is going on, man. We beat the Commanders, who were, had a great record, but nobody thought they were going to
tailing off. They lost 3 or 4 in a row.
Yeah, they had a cake. They were playing cake teams, man. So nobody think that was serious. And we got our wins against the sorry teams at the NFC East. The same thing would have happened with Dak if he was here. But hey, we lost some games with Dak. Micah is Micah, man. Micah's not a smart dude. I'm just gonna say it straight like that.
PJ just said the exact same thing in the break before we came on here, bro.
Yeah, Micah's not smart, man. I don't know if y'all ever listen to him explain certain things or his opinion on things, but it's not a smart opinion. It don't make sense logically. I don't even think it was ever, I always think about that locker room incident, man. Hey, Micah is in there somewhere. I don't really want to hear what he got to say about nothing, man. I'm sure he do think he got a chance or think we finna go on a run. I'm telling you right now, we finna lose every single game the rest of the year. Every single one.
Even the Panthers?
We got the Panthers.
I seen Bryce Young dicing some things up.
Hey, Bryce Young don't look that bad. Shout out Bryce Young. He don't look that bad.
Yeah, shout out Bryce Young, man. Because they coming, man. It's not gonna be good. So nah, man, go to the playoffs for what? For what? Because you're going right back to where you're getting right back on the bus, going right back home, man. So man, just keep playing hard. I'm as a Cowboys fan now at this point, I'm taking my happiness in looking at the individual players, looking at Cooper Beebe and the interior against Dexter Lawrence. They did very well against him. No pressures, no sacks for Dexter Lawrence, no tackles. I believe as well. Overshawn looking like he's going to be somebody that's going to be on the team next. Well, not on the team, but he's going to be a weapon for us next year.
Feature player.
Yeah, man. He might have to take that 11 off. The lion over there. Opening his mouth. But it was good to see Bland back out there. Even though he was not having the greatest game or making many plays, it was just good to get that game under his belt. We found another player last week. I know, the Commanders found another player, maybe the guy that was on All-American. That was crazy. I didn't even know that. What's his name? The dude that wear Byron Jones number. 31. Yeah.
I don't know his
All-American, man.
He was on the show, All-American?
On the show.
Man, y'all hiring people from CW, bro. Is that what the Cowboys have gotten to? That they're going to CW?
But he was hooping though, man.
Josh Butler out of Michigan State.
Out here trying to make a way, man.
From the TV to the Cowboys. Wow.
Hey, man, might be the same thing, man. It's all Hollywood acting. That's what it looking like out there. But yeah, man, I was really impressed with the O-line these last 2 weeks as a whole. Impressed with Overshawn. Impressed with. It's good to see Micah back out there. And outside of that, man, I'm just trying to see who's going to be on the team. But what should we do? There's only one thing we can do. We don't have a choice. What y'all talking about? They don't have a choice, man. We finna lose. All right, we beat the teams we're going to beat. That's it. All right, we're not beating the Commanders twice. Okay. And then man, it's a wrap. We losing to all these other teams. Maybe we might beat the Panthers, maybe, but I think Bryce Young might they might have a chance. They're gonna have a chance against us. So yeah, we're gonna do the only thing we can do, which is lose, and let's just keep evaluating this team, see who's gonna be on the team next year, who we need to keep, who we need to let go of, and then hopefully, I don't know. They need to stop talking about keeping McCarthy though. I don't know what that's about. To me, we're gonna keep McCarthy.
And you know who starts it. It's like he can't help himself at this point. This is a sickness that Jerry Jones has. He's seen everybody start getting too cool with losing, and everybody just knows where the Cowboys at, which isn't a problem. They're just evaluating what the Cowboys are, like Kyrell just did. We beat the team, y'all beat the teams you're gonna beat, and then after that, you're gonna lose to the teams you're gonna lose to. And he saw, okay, the headline's starting to die out. I know what to do. Yeah, we might extend Mike McCarthy. Bro, you know you're not extending Mike McCarthy. He got a sickness, bro.
Scary thing.
I see it a lot in people our age. They're addicted to the attention that social media gives them, and that's why they say and do wild stuff on social media every other day and post stupid stuff on social media. I just got done crying. Like, why would you post you got done crying on social media? Does that make any sense? Why would you just cry? You posted it. Oh, man, I've been crying for an hour. Bro, be quiet. Jerry Jones got the same type of sickness, and he 1,000 years old. Most of his life was spent without social media, and he cannot get away from attention. He's seen that the attention was starting to dwindle away. Oh, yeah, we about to extend Mike McCarthy. Bro, you know you're not finna extend Mike McCarthy.
The thing about it is he really might do that.
Man, he not extending Mike McCarthy, bro. I don't think he is. I think at the end of this season, it is what it is. Only way he extends Mike McCarthy is if he is really just set on, we're just going to make our money, bro, and I don't care nothing about football. I don't care nothing about us winning, which we know he doesn't. But I think extending Mike McCarthy would be absolutely crazy, especially after making him play this whole season. If he does, then the Cowboys are just a simulation, and this is all just Jerry Jones just creating a TV show and pulling strings behind closed doors. I don't know what's going on. What I will say is, y'all been telling me about DeMarcus Overshown for weeks, and I was kind of like, he's decent. But these last couple of weeks I've been watching him. DeMarcus Overshown is nice. He's going to be a good player in the league. He still is not the greatest in coverage, but at the end of the day, that's not a huge thing as a linebacker. If you're coming down and sticking people, that's what's most important as a linebacker. And Overshown definitely can do that. And he's starting to turn into a really good player. PJ, what was your thoughts about, what we just talked about with this, and then your thoughts about what Micah said about we're finna go on a run and all this kind of stuff?
I just want to, double back on Overshown, because that's one of the UT kids.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Shout out to Overshown. He's been playing hard every week. Yeah, man, with the game, really, bro, this is what we were supposed to do. I'm kind of mad, though, because, a month ago I came on here and I said I want us to lose all the rest of our games. I was mad when we won last week because I really needed us to lose all the rest of our games, because now I'm scared because we got Cincinnati next week, then Carolina, Tampa Bay, Philly, and then we got Washington. There's a strong possibility that we can win at least 3 of those games.
Only team that's for sure is a loss, in my eyes, is Philly.
That's too many wins.
Everybody else is very beatable, including Cincinnati.
That's too many wins. We needed to go 3-14. We needed to go like 3-14. I needed it to be bad, like really bad, for some changes to end up happening. I feel like if we were to go 8-9, I don't feel like that Jerry Jones would really take this season as serious as he would if he would have went 3-14 to make some changes, because he is a narcissist.
Yeah.
He's really not going to look at it like, oh man, we had a bad season. Look, we won 8 games with a backup. That's what he's going to look at it, and then he's going to not make any changes that we really need in order to get better for these next few years. It's really unacceptable that the Eagles are continuously a Super Bowl contender, like every year for like the last about. Really, 6 years.
It's been on and off for about 5, 6 years.
They continuously Super Bowl contenders, and not to say that we haven't been either, but we not this year. And so I don't know. I don't even know how to really be happy with our wins anymore. And I'm like, I don't be happy actually. It's not I'll be sad. I don't even be mad or nothing. It's just it is what it is whenever we play, man. Like, cause we suck. We're a bad team. Micah, I just need him to I don't even know how to be nice with this because he's really stupid. Micah is a very dumb person. If you listen to him speak, bro, Kyrell wasn't lying. Just go listen to his interviews. He's dumb. He should never, I don't even know how to, he should never ever open up his mouth to the media ever unless they just, and then they really be egging it on because they be asking him certain questions because they know he gonna go crazy.
He gonna talk.
You get these dudes some
and then
turkey.
he believed it, man.
He believe it though. He believe it.
No facts.
You get these dudes some turkey and some dressing, they gonna go crazy on TV. Like I don't get it, man. We're not going on a run. If we do go on a run, it's only because these other teams are bad teams as well. I think Cincinnati could possibly beat us, even though they're a very bad team. I think they can beat us with Burrow and
they got Chase.
And Chase, they can really kill us with that. Carolina could possibly beat us too, but I don't think that we'll lose against them. And then Tampa Bay, that's 50-50. Yeah. Philly and Washington, those two might be L's. I don't see us really beating Washington again. But yeah, man, there's really no excitement with the Cowboys right now, man. Like kind of like how Russ said, I'm just looking at certain players, Overshown, Cooper Beebe, a lot of these guys who are playing really good right now, even though we're losing, or not even losing, but just, beating sorry teams that we're supposed to be beating. But it's really nothing to get excited about and be saying that we're going to go on a run and we should make the playoffs. We don't deserve to make the playoffs. We've done nothing to make the playoffs.
No.
So that talk should be over with.
Yeah, I don't get that. I do get it because they're the most watched thing in the world. Dallas Cowboys are the most watched thing on television in the world, so I do get it, them being in that conversation. But come on, guys, let's stop it then. Let's go to the playoffs and do what? Lose by 40?
I hope people realize we go to the playoffs, man. You playing like the number 2 seed?
You gonna play the number 2 seed,
which is probably gonna be the Packers.
It's going to be Philly.
Philly's
gonna beat you by 40.
40. And then you really gonna be sick. You're gonna be sick because we just got knocked out the playoffs by the Eagles,
by your biggest rival
at Philly.
And a 40-point loss.
40-point loss. It's gonna be cold.
And you got to hear everybody in the crowd talking about you drawing out there the whole time. Why you getting beat up?
Like,
man, I don't care. As long as Dak don't play, I really don't care about losing to the Eagles. His record against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles is intact. So
yeah,
lose as much as you want to.
Hey, you love this Dak Jalen Hurts stuff, man.
Good, man. Go ahead. Yeah, beat up on Cooper Rush, man. Crazy. Yeah, that's exactly. I can't wait to bring it up. I beat y'all last year, Cooper Rush. Every time.
The true hate for Cowboys and Eagles, it'll never go away. And obviously, I don't know why when one of them is good, the other one has to be bad. Like I don't get that. It seems that happens most of the time. I know there's a couple catch years in there where they'll both be decent, but most of the time, even when the Cowboys are going 12-5, the Eagles were Super Bowl contenders one of those years, but most of those 12-5 years for the Cowboys, they were 8-8. 7-9, somewhere in there.
That's the difference, though, Jalen. That's always been the difference between us and the modern era, between us and the Eagles. When they're bad, we're great. Or we're a 12-win, 11-win team, but they're never bad. They're always like
they're never bad.
They're like a wild card team. We just know they're not going to win. But they're always in the playoffs. I feel like.
No, that's true. They're always there. Even when what was that Jalen Hurts first year when they were like 8-8. Yeah. And they really looked terrible, and I kind of just looked up and like they in the playoffs, and then they got smacked by Tampa Bay. Mm-hmm. Like so, they do find a way to get in there, and then when they do have their runs, it ends up being an actual run, which I think they might go on this year because we were talking about this Wednesday on the show when we were going down my top 5 list with Wayne. I would not be shocked at all. I might pick Philly. Matter of fact, if they play Detroit in the NFC Championship game, because
I don't blame you.
You cannot guard Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, and Devontae Smith. Yeah, you're going to take away one of them, but you ain't taking away all of them. You know you're going to stack the box with Saquon Barkley. Then you're going to leave A.J. Brown in one-on-one coverage with any of their absolute mid corners they got on Detroit because they all mid. Terrion Arnold, I think, lead league in pass interference still. Carlton Davis has been mid since he was on Tampa Bay. He's opportunistic. He can be good. He'll have some good plays, but one-on-one with A.J. Brown, come on, man. That's just not good football.
Look at A.J. Brown's numbers right now and his catches compared to everybody else's, and then look at his yards.
Yeah,
that dude is hooping.
He's a man child. He's a man child. He's exactly what they thought DK was going to be coming out, and then we all realized, it's the reason DK didn't even get to football in collage.
He's just a model.
Yeah, not at this point.
He's just a model. That's really what he is.
Why is every picture of you with your shirt off, bro? Like, man, come on, man. Catch a touchdown. How about catching a touchdown or something? And I don't even know what's going on with the NFC West. We
Hey,
talked about
the
that a little bit
worst
earlier.
jump ball receiver in the league, man. I can't.
And then you 6'5", and you the worst jump ball receiver in the league. Don't even make sense.
He's 6'5", 250, but he played like he 5'10", 180.
Man,
he played like he Turpin
Tyreek.
size.
Catch the ball like Tyreek Hill, man.
Yeah,
with his chest. You jumping up 4 feet in the air over everybody and catching it with your chest. What are you doing, bro? I don't get that. And but AJ Brown, man, when he's playing, it's a reason Jalen Hurts has an undefeated record when he's playing with AJ Brown. He's never lost a game if AJ Brown is playing healthy. Only one they've lost was the Super Bowl. And it's a reason for that. AJ Brown is a monster. Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the league. Saquon Barkley is probably the best offensive player in the league. Yeah. And he's finally getting to see that now that he's on a competent team and not stuck on the New York Giants. I'm so glad that the Giants were dumb enough to say, hey, yeah, just go see what the market does and then call us back.
Oh, so stupid.
That's why I had to say it with Wayne on the show, man. That's the day I realized, nah, bro, I haven't been tripping all these years. I could be a front office personnel in the NFL because y'all make this so hard, and it really ain't that hard, bro. When I seen y'all go back and forth looking at each other and saying that and saying, yeah, we're going to tell them to go out there and get it. And then I watched them all get together and say, yeah, if we get Devin Singletary and we get this guy, though all their yards together, that's going to add up to the 1,600 yards that Saquon Barkley was.
Not at all.
Bro, what are y'all talking about? Put me in the front office, man. Come on, bro.
The Eagles, out of all the teams. Y'all don't even got an O-line in New York.
The owner had tears in his eyes when they came in there and they said Saquon Barkley had signed to the Eagles.
Where'd you think he was going to go? He from, come on.
He from Pennsylvania, bro.
Same thing gonna happen with Micah if he leave.
And they got. I think he'll go to the Commanders, which would be even worse to me.
What about
my
Baltimore?
opinion?
You don't think he'll go to Baltimore?
I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he went to Baltimore, but I will see him.
Or Pittsburgh.
I will see him. I will see him trying to go to. I mean, Pittsburgh would be crazy. I think that would be crazy. He'd go back there, but they already got TJ.
Yeah, that's true.
And then I think more likely is for him to go to the Commanders because they all love Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
If Dan Quinn's to the coach, I will see him go. But they're not even going to let him get there. I think Jerry Jones is finally going to do the right thing and drop a nuke of a bag on Micah Parsons as soon as this season it starts getting into the offseason.
Is it going to leave us with enough money though to go get other guys? That's the thing.
It's not.
That's why
I'm not gonna come.
I wouldn't even pay that much, bro.
That's what they're gonna do though. And at this point, you have to because there's no other direction you can go with this. I think trading them.
Rebuild.
But you should have did that before you re-signed Dak. That's the problem. When you re-signed Dak, you threw all rebuild out the window.
Yeah.
Because you're giving the dude $60 million, and it's going to be some type of cap hit against the cap for like $90 million or something like that.
Oh, so he's going to be bad for the next few years.
Can we stay on the Giants, though, man? Can we stay on the Giants, though, about the Saquon business, man? Because
wild.
Jalen,
wild.
Is it like they pretty much robbed him of a Hall of Fame career?
They did.
Because
at gunpoint.
Very clear. Like, despite McCaffrey doing all that, man, I think all of us agree that, like, healthy, like, Saquon has the most ability from the running back for, like, the last 4 or 5 years. Even so, when he came in against...
Since Adrian Peterson.
Like, yeah, because even against Zeke, when he was at his top, we were like, nah, Saquon's better, bro. Like,
yeah,
Saquon
for sure.
is better. Like, and the fact that they just let this dude, like, come on, man. Now you see it, 264, and he can catch. AP couldn't catch.
I mean, couldn't catch a 1 yard out. He couldn't catch a swing route, nothing. He couldn't catch a screen.
Mossing dudes off the wheel routes, man. Had breakaway speed.
He
really
jumped over
like
somebody backwards,
bro. Backwards.
off a spin move and then jumped over. You know how, man, your body got to be in sync. Like, you
gotta listen to Jalen Hurts be a winner.
Yeah,
be a winner. Man, come on, man.
I'm still not sold on Jalen Hurts, man.
Nor should you be. Nor should you be.
All they do is a tush push.
Nor should you be. You shouldn't be sold on Jalen Hurts. What you should be sold on is he can win you big games if he got a stacked team. Because there's some people that can't even do that.
Yeah.
Because it is stacked. That's 3 first-round picks right there, man.
Yeah.
Was AJ Brown a first-round pick?
Second round.
I think so, right?
Second round.
Okay. He barely got away.
Barely.
Gonna rush for 2,000.
First-round talents.
I mean, Hall of Fame talents.
Hall of Fame talents. Cool, Devontae.
Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata. I mean, these.
But it's Saquon, though, y'all, and y'all let him walk.
That's why they're the Giants. That's why they're the Giants, and they had the nerve to turn in reports and complaints on Elle
that
Duncan
lady name? Yeah,
on
Elle
ESPN for her saying that the Giants is trash.
That's just
Just
crazy.
Bro,
lame,
you're
bro.
trash,
That's really
bro.
lame.
You're trash.
They're trying to get her fired.
And now you're scaring the females away.
Yeah.
Now, okay, none of your players have no good time while they doing that because you scaring the work away, man. Crazy. That's just crazy. I can't believe y'all would even go that far to do something like that. But that's why y'all the Giants. The Giants are the Giants because of that. And right now, they're the worst team in the league. Cowboys get a win 27-20. Folks, we got to go to a break. When we come back, we'll talk about a couple more of these games. We got to preview pretty much all the rest of these games for the weekend. Still a lot of big games in college football this weekend as well. So we got to talk about all that when we come back at hour number 2. Stay tuned and stay locked in right here on Centex Primetime. We'll be right back after this.
Lighthouse Streaming, a full-scale media agency and your go-to source for all things audio and video. Is your church long overdue for audio and video upgrades? Call Lighthouse Streaming for a free consultation. Does your corporate or church event need audio or video production? Don't stress. Call the guys at Lighthouse Streaming. In business since 2017, Lighthouse Streaming has produced hundreds of live events and completed dozens of church and venue installations. Whatever your AV needs are, Lighthouse Streaming has you covered. Give them a call at 254-252-4206. That's 254-252-4206. Or go to lighthousestreaming.com and set up your free consultation.
NSJ Event Co., one of the premier event designers in Central Texas, and its Centex Sports
for free installation.
Event Co. is your go-to source for event planning. Whether it's your next baby shower, birthday bash, wedding, or retirement party, NSJ Event Co. will bring out the elegance, class, and style your event deserves. Call NSJ Event Co. at the number on the screen or scan the QR code to schedule a free consultation. NSJ Event Co., where the party lady takes care of all your event needs.
Are you hungry for the best fried chicken in town? Check out Crispy Chicken No. 1, 11th and Clay, and their Monday and Tuesday special, the Snack Pack, which includes 2 pieces of chicken, fries, roll, and drink, all for only $6. Also, each Monday through Friday from 4 to 6, you can feed the family for $10 and receive 6 pieces of chicken, fries, and rolls. Crispy Chicken No. 1 features additional daily specials and also includes mouth-watering short ribs, fried catfish, and chicken fried steak. Locally owned and operated and a Waco tradition since 1975. That's Crispy Chicken No. 1 at 11th and Clay.
It's the family feels for me. The banana pudding peach cobbler make you want to holler for me. It's the candy yams, mac and cheese, beef tips, pork tips and rice, collard greens. It's the sweet potato pie, sweetie. Fried chicken you've been missing, the lemon sweet tea dressing on Sundays when you all dressed up. Chest pie, buttermilk, and pound cake. Cornbread with butter just dripping, always fresh baked. If you need Southern style, soul food, home cooked meals that you can feel. Chicken and dumplings, chicken pot pie. 719 South 11th Street. Sassy's, come on by.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. KWBT-FM, HD2 Waco, Temple, Killeen, Fort Cavazos. The new leader in sports in Central Texas is Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
Holy Jesus. What is that?
It's time to get in the game.
Do you know what time it is?
Tune in to Primetime Sports Talk with Jalen Gillis.
To me, you are nothing.
Your go-to source for breaking sports news in Central Texas and exclusive Dallas Cowboys coverage.
Start it up, let's go.
Catch us Monday through Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. on the Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back into Centex Primetime, hour number 2. I am your host, Jalen Gillis, here to take you through the primetime topics in sports, not just in the Central Texas area, but from all around the nation. Want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today on the special edition, Black Friday edition of the show. Day after Thanksgiving, still shaking off some turkey and dressing from yesterday. I ain't even gonna cap. I don't eat turkey like that on Thanksgiving. I just say it because it's Turkey Day. But I'm more of a mac and cheese guy. We already talked about that on Wednesday. Top foods. Kyrie, I don't think he was on here when we did top Thanksgiving foods. What's your? We'll get him back on here in a second. But we got the top Thanksgiving foods. I go to the mac. Mac and cheese is always one of the go-tos for me. Turkey is, it's there. It's all right. And but it's not my first go-to there everybody should be shaking off the turkey, and all that from yesterday, the turkey and dressing and the mac and cheese and all the extremely unhealthy foods that we eat every Thanksgiving. Everybody gets their day, their cheat day if you have one. You get it on that day. So just got done talking about the games yesterday, the Cowboys and the Giants just being awful. We talk a lot about the Cowboys, obviously, here on 94.5 FM. We're the flagship station for the Dallas Cowboys on the radio. On Sundays, you can listen every Sunday, 94.5 FM. Tune in for that. So we talk about the Cowboys all the time, and rightfully so. They're America's team, as everybody says, and they're headlines. But, the New York Giants deserve more hate than what they get. They get plenty of hate because they're the Giants. But with how bad they've been, they almost deserve even more hate because the way that they fumbled people's careers. Then we had to sit here and listen to them the other day. I think it was on First Take, debate if Eli Manning is a first ballot Hall of Famer or not. What? What do you mean a first ballot Hall? How in the world could he even be considered? I'm not a fan of him being a Hall of Famer, but I get it. First ballot Hall of Famer is absolutely crazy.
He got any records?
No. Oh, the Iron Man. I think he got the longest streak of playing. He played like 100-something games in a row without missing a game. I think he didn't miss a game until like his last season in the NFL. That's it. That's it.
All right.
You played 15 years and made the playoffs 4 times.
It's crazy.
Every time you were a wild card team. You got 2 Super Bowls, but you had 2 of the best defenses on both of those Super Bowl runs. And you was balling in those playoff runs. I won't even deny it like he wasn't playing great. But does that make you a first ballot Hall of Famer? Because you had some good playoff runs? Is he better than, I just asked PJ this yesterday, is he better than Ben Roethlisberger? Is he better than Phillip Rivers? Those are the guys that was in his class that he got drafted in front of.
Wasn't Drew? No,
Drew was a little bit before them. But still, like pretty much in that class. He's right in that same era of quarterbacks. Is he better than Drew Brees? Is he better than any of those guys that came in? Is he better than Carson Palmer? Are y'all going to sit there and look at me today and tell me Eli Manning is better than Carson Palmer? Because I'm going to tell you, you are tripping.
Yeah, Carson Palmer was that dude.
You are tripping. Carson Palmer was just on the Bengals.
I don't think he was better than Romo, bro. It was just situational.
No. I will take Tony Romo over Eli Manning. This is me as a non-Cowboys fan telling y'all the truth.
It was all situational when Romo was with us. You know what I mean? So I don't even think that he's better than Romo. Definitely that 2007 year. Like, nah.
Come on, man. Eli Manning has never been a top quarterback ever. Ever. At any point. How are you never a top quarterback? How many All-Pros do Eli Manning have? 0. But you first ballot Hall of Famer? We talking about you going against dudes with 6, 7, 8 All-Pro teams.
Yeah.
You made the Pro Bowl, but the Pro Bowl, I don't care about the Pro Bowl because half the people at the Pro Bowl every year decide they don't want to play. And so they put in a whole nother wave of people that make the Pro Bowl. That's watered down. Brock Purdy made the Pro Bowl. Like, let's stop it. Like, I'm talking about his first year. After he had like 8 starts, he made the Pro Bowl. So let's stop.
Stop doing the Pro Bowl, man. Like,
I don't care nothing about the Pro Bowl, just like I don't care nothing about All-Star Weekend.
I'm about to say, which one worse you think? Is
the Pro Bowl is worse than All-Star Weekend. I'll say that because All-Star Weekend is at least still an attraction. Yeah, the game is bad, but you still see people scoring points. Yeah. The Pro Bowl game is useless. Haven't they gone to flag the last couple of years or something like that?
Yeah, it's like flags or something.
Man, come on. Let's stop it,
well should have been flagged.
Just stop it.
Nobody tackling.
Just don't do it. We don't care, bro.
Yeah.
We don't care. If you're not going to let them dudes come out there and hit and play like how they're really supposed to play, I know people, we don't want to get hurt in the Pro Bowl game. Man, Sean Taylor was coming down cracking. He cracked the punter. He cracked the punter, man.
The punter.
That's what it means to want it. That's what it means to go hard out there. He came out there full speed and cracked the punter for no reason. That punter had his life changed in a Pro Bowl game in Hawaii after they've been up drinking beers and stuff all night. You come back in this game barely awake, and you get your head knocked off your shoulders by one of the hardest hitters in NFL history. Rest in peace, Sean Taylor. Had a chance to be one of the best safeties to ever play the game of football. But yeah, I mean, I don't get that with the Eli Manning stuff, and I don't get any of the stuff with the Giants. They used to try to blame it on Tom Coughlin, but obviously he got y'all to 2 Super Bowls. Can't blame it too much on Tom Coughlin. It's the organization. The organization has just ran terrible ever since the Bill Parcells era, and we got to go back to the 90s to talk about that. Since the Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick era, this organization has been run terribly. And, hey, it is what it is to the Giants, and they're probably going to get the first pick. and they're probably going to pick Shedeur Sanders. Don't know how that's going to work out with them picking Shedeur, but I like that he's going to a big city at least. If nothing else, I didn't want to see a Shedeur at, Carolina, something like that. Even though shout out Cam Newton, we said we got to find a time to talk about Cam Newton and the disrespect that he gets over the years, because now that he's in media, people somehow forget
how they forgot. It was
that Cam Newton is one of the greatest people to ever play football. Greatest. Regardless what y'all say or what y'all think, I need y'all to go back and fact check and check the history of this dude's resume. High school champion, JUCO champion, backup on a championship team with the Florida Gators. Went to Auburn, the worst team in the SEC, and won a natty with not one NFL player on the roster. Nobody from that team. Matter of fact, he had one. Nick Fairley made it to the league, the D tackle, which has nothing to do with Cam Newton and what he did. Nobody on that offense for the Auburn Tigers played one snap in the NFL. It's dudes that play 4 or 5 snaps in the league and never play again. Nobody in that team played a snap in the league. One play in the league.
Then he gets to the NFL and the first and the only rookie quarterback to this day to throw for 400 yards.
2 games in a row.
2 games in a row.
Your first 2 starts in the league, you throw for 400 both times. A record that still no one has broken, and that was 2011 when he did it.
He done won at every level besides the NFL, and he got to the championship.
And he got there with one of the worst teams, one of the worst offenses. I'll say that. That defense was nice. But there's been plenty of nice defenses that ain't won Super Bowls. That was one of the worst offenses I've ever seen in a Super Bowl ever. He had Jonathan Stewart in his last couple years in the league. Jonathan Stewart was a good back, but I'm talking about Jonathan Stewart at 30. That's who we had. Mike Tolbert was the backup running back. He was a fullback. Ted Ginn was the number 1 receiver. A 30-year-old Greg Olsen was the number 1 tight end. That's who we went to the Super Bowl with and lost to the no-fly zone, one of the best secondaries to ever play in the NFL. That's who we lost to. Also, Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks to ever play in the NFL. That's who we lost to. And for some reason, we find time every week, somebody on TikTok or Twitter, or because Cam Newton got a show now, to disrespect Cam. I remember on ESPN, and I don't even like going at some of the people on ESPN like that, but when that one lady got on there and was saying Cam just wants to be relevant, and that's why he's speaking on Dak Prescott and all these guys, because he's just mad he ain't on the NFL roster.
Dak will never, ever,
never
live up to anything that Cam has done in his career. Ever.
All right, come on, man. Cam is one of the best people to play football. And we find time to disrespect this guy for what? Because y'all don't like that he says stuff that most people say in the locker room anyway.
But it's true.
He just says it. It ain't because he lying. He ain't lied on anybody and said no lies. Y'all just don't like that he's saying it.
He's telling the truth, though.
He said Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott are game managers. Are they not? What part of that was a lie? What part of him saying that, especially with with both of them, what part of it is a lie?
It's not even a diss, though.
It's not a diss. Y'all took it as a diss. And he said that. He had to break it down to Warren Sapp. Y'all took that as a diss. Most quarterbacks in the NFL are game managers. There's probably only 4 or 5 game changers in the league every year at the quarterback position. Tom Brady was a game manager the whole first half of his career. Was anything wrong with that? No. He had 3 Super Bowls. Mm-hmm. Then he backdoor and won 3 more when he was a game changer, when he said, I don't care who's out here, we going to win because I'm out here. But them first 3 Super Bowls, no, he was getting 150 yards and winning in the Super Bowl. It was winning Super Bowls 13-10.
People got to go look at them defenses, man.
And the defenses was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Richard Seymour, Rodney Harrison, Ty Law, Willie McGinnis, Teddy Bruschi, Junior Seau.
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all talking about? That's why them teams are cold. Then when he became a game changer, they went and got Randy Moss. And he started breaking records. But before then, like, come on, man. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a game manager, is the point. There's only a few game changers in the league at a time. Cam Newton was one of those. For y'all that want to keep going out here and saying crazy stuff about Cam Newton, I don't tolerate no Cam Newton disrespect. He was my favorite player in college. He was my favorite player when he was in the league. I don't tolerate no Cam Newton disrespect. One of the greatest to ever do it. Shout out to Cam Newton. But while we got some quick takes going, before we dive into some of the games for this weekend, Kyrell said he had to get off of here, so appreciate Kyrell for jumping on here with us. Still got PJ Gaither in studio with me. Want to talk about a topic that I kind of brought up a a little while ago on the show, but I seen some more people talking about it. What do y'all think? And y'all can jump in the chat on YouTube, Centex Sports Network, Centex Sports TV. Let us know. What is the best era of football? I feel like everybody's got a different time period that they go to. Me growing up, I feel like that was my best era of the best era of football was when I was a kid. It's when I fell in love with the game. That was in the 2000s. In my opinion, that is the best era of football that we had so far to date. We're talking about Peyton Manning and Tom Brady rivalry. We're talking about Brett Favre on the Packers. We're talking about Michael Vick on the Falcons doing what he was doing. We're talking about the 2000s Ravens defense going even all the way through the 2000s with Ray Lewis and Ed Reed. We're talking about teams like that. I feel like, in my opinion, the best era of football, we're talking about 2 of the top 3 receivers of all time was playing, or really 3 of the top 5 receivers of all time was playing at the same time. But Randy Moss, Calvin Johnson, and T.O., they all playing at the same time. And really, if you want to say 5 or 6 in there too, because Larry Fitz, we ain't finna throw Fitz out of there. Fitzgerald is playing at the same time. Marvin Harrison is playing at this time. Reggie Wayne. Yeah. Andre Johnson, Chad Johnson. Yeah. Running backs, we talking about LaDainian Tomlinson, Bettis, Clinton Portis,
Fred Taylor,
Edrin James, Fred Taylor. Shout out Freddie T, one of the best.
That's my boy from
Jamal
Kansas
Charles,
City.
Priest Holmes. Like, man, we talking about the era. The quarterbacks, we still ain't seen that. And I feel like now that the quarterback era has dropped off, I feel like it probably didn't drop off. I just got so spoiled and was so used to the 2000s era of football with Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Michael Vick, Phillip Rivers. We get Ben Roethlisberger. I got used to that. That's what I was used to seeing. And now that we don't have that in the league right now, because we do not. Yeah, we got Mahomes. Yeah, we got Josh Allen. We got Lamar Jackson. After that list starts getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So that was, in my opinion, the best era of football. They had some of the best defenders. We just talked about Ray Lewis. Talking about guys like Julius Peppers, who don't get enough love. Talking about guys like Dwight Freeney, who don't get enough love. Michael Strahan. With DBs, you talking about Darrell Reeves, Ty Law, Asante Samuel, Champ Bailey, Charles Woodson. These are some of the best to ever play DB.
Polamalu, Ed Reed.
Yeah, safeties. You talking about Troy Polamalu, Ed Reed,
Sanders.
Bob, Sean Taylor, John Lynch.
Yeah, John Lynch.
Like, man, 2000s era, in my opinion. Rondé Barber. Shout out Tiki Barber. We was talking about running backs, man.
Jamal Lewis with the running back.
Jamal Lewis, one of the best.
Yeah.
Came out of Georgia. Yeah. They said he could have went straight to the league out of high school, and it looked like it when he got to the league.
Grown man.
That was a man-child at running back. 2000s era is, in my opinion, the best era of football. PJ, what is your opinion? Everybody has different opinions on what's the best era of football. What you think the best era of NFL football was?
I'm going to double back with the 2000s. Nah,
I'm telling you.
I'm going to break it down a little bit.
Go ahead.
You can't say the 70s, and the reason why you can't say the 70s, I'm going to start in the 70s because I don't want to really hear nothing
prior to that. Shout out Jim Brown, but he the only one I want to listen to.
Yeah, him and Gale say.
Gale Sayers, yeah.
The only two. But 70s, you really can't say that, man, even though some really, really great players in the 70s. You know, you had Walter Payton, Franco Harris, Earl Campbell. You had what's my boy? I think he was his name was George Foreman as well, but he played running back for the Minnesota Vikings in the 70s. He was one of the ones. He had the spin move, bro. That was crazy.
Yeah.
You had guys, man, back then in the 70s, but you know, Lynn Swann and all them cats for the Pittsburgh Steelers, but the game still hadn't evolved to what it was going to end up becoming.
No.
In the 80s, the game kind of started changing. That's when you start seeing high-flying offenses, you know, definitely with the Chargers. They were like the start of that, you know what I mean? Dan Fouts and all them cats in you know, San Diego, they started that. But the game still wasn't what it was going to end up being. The 90s is where you can give me an argument with the 90s.
Yeah.
Because just like we just named a lot of guys in the 2000s, we can name a lot of guys from the 90s too.
A whole bunch.
But in reality, 2000s, it hit different, man.
It peaked.
It hit different. It peaked at that time, man. You had a lot of guys in the 90s that were considering the greatest right now. You probably only got a few guys from the 90s that we really say that was the greatest, or the 80s that was the greatest in the 2000s. Now, and it's not because of recency bias. These guys really did change the game. Guys like Ed Reed and Troy Polamalu, they changed the game.
Fine. Who's better safeties than them? Only one I'm even going to listen to is Ronnie Lott, maybe, prior to them.
And if that, though, bro.
I'm taking Polamalu and Ed Reed. I'm taking Ed Reed over anybody, first off. Let's just start with that.
Because I don't think Ronnie Lott could cover as good as these.
Not even, man, come on.
They
not
weren't
even close to no Ed
routes
Reed.
like dudes running routes in the 2000s.
Yeah.
You got Chad Johnson, who has the best feet. He had the best feet ever. It's not even close. You can't find another receiver, and he's playing at like 6'1", 6 foot, 185. You can't touch him though. Off the line, you're not touching him.
Nope.
So it's like in the TO, Yak, yards after catch, he's killing
everybody.
And Randy Moss, man, if he literally played every play hard, I'm telling you. I mean, he's still my
man.
GOAT.
If he played the same amount of plays hard and he just had a consistent quarterback play, he came in with Dante Culpepper. Shout out Culpepper. We didn't even name him when we talking about 2000s quarterbacks. Shout out Dante Culpepper and Steve Air McNair.
Yeah,
also was a dog in the 2000s. But if he had consistent quarterback play, because he had them at the beginning, he also had Jamarcus Russell as a quarterback. He also had some random guys coming in to Vikings after Dante Culpepper was done there, before he got eventually with Tom Brady.
Mm-hmm.
So, Randy, definitely.
Randy is the GOAT, man. You literally, we say you just got moused as we growing up.
Still, but they say it right now.
Still say it right now. It's a whole segment.
These kids never watched him play, and they still say, man, he mossed him. They ain't never watched Randy Moss play. Randy retired in 2013, I think.
Yeah, they born in 2009.
These kids ain't never seen him play.
Babies.
Never seen him play, and they still say you getting mossed.
Yeah. It just hit different with Randy Moss, man. You got Adrian Peterson, Danian Tomlinson, all these different running backs, man. We didn't even say Maurice Jones-Drew.
Man, shout out Maurice Jones-Drew.
You know,
used to give the Texans
Matt Forte.
Matt Forte, super slept on.
Super reliable running back.
He one of the most slept on running backs in NFL history.
I love
literally probably one of the most consistent running backs to ever play
the game.
Football. Actual true dual threat running back coming out of Tulane.
Yeah.
A New Orleans boy. Coming out of Tulane.
Jamal Charles.
Yeah. Come on.
The list goes on, man. It's a lot of guys. It's a lot of guys from back then. Man, Joseph Adai.
Yeah.
I can keep naming these guys, man. The 2000s, it just hit different. It peaked, and the game was still very physical before they started
very
changing up
physical.
the rules and stuff. So I'm gonna give it to the 2000s.
Yeah, I like the 2000s as the best decade for going just a decade of football. And the 90s is a close second, in my opinion. The 90s is a close second. 90s we got Elway. We still had a little bit of Marino. You still got Troy Aikman out there, the Cowboys. You got the Niners, teams like that, and the individual players that was playing in, definitely up there. I mean, Deion Sanders, Darryl Green, all these guys out there playing on the defensive side. 90s is a close second, in my opinion. And then right after that, I'll probably put the 2010s in there, since now we passed the 2010s and we can actually look back at it. 2010s had some dogs too, but a lot of them dogs came from the 2000s. Yeah. So, 2000s best era of football, in my opinion. I don't even really think it's that close, man. I think that's when football peaked, honestly.
You could say the same with the 2000s. Some of those guys, if not a lot, did come from the 90s. It's probably drafted in like 95, 96, 97, maybe 99. Mm-hmm. You never know. But they peaked in the 2000s.
Yeah. Their prime was too. Only person whose prime was in both was Tom Brady. Because he's both.
I can't even say that because he was drafted in 97. He wasn't even starting until the 2001 season.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he's 2000.
He the only one with a prime that goes into 2 decades.
Yeah, 2000.
Because the 2000s and the 2010s. He got a prime in 2 decades. He like LeBron. Mm-hmm. He got a prime throughout multiple decades. But yeah, man, I just had to bring that up because the 2000s era, shout out to 2000s era football, man. My favorite, like I said, that's when I grew up falling in love with football, was 2000s era football. And, man, they had some dogs. They had some dogs, and it spoiled me. It spoiled me thinking that the NFL always looked like that and was always going to look like that. And I'm looking at it now, not saying the NFL is sorry in no shape, form. These guys are bigger, stronger, faster than they've ever been, but I don't think they got the same amount of dog in them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think there are a lot of guys that do have it. But I think there's not as many as there are now. And I don't even like to do that to go back to the back in my day. I think these guys, I'm not even one of them type of guys, but I just think circumstances have done that.
Yeah.
I think dudes are making $1 million at 16 now. It's different. Dudes are famous at 15.
And even if they are dogs, the game not allowing them.
Yeah, I mean, if you play defense, it's hard.
Yeah, it's not even showing.
Shout out to some of the last crash outs in the league, like Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah.
A for real true crash out like we used to have as safeties back in the day. He's still trying to live up to that. But there's no team that has you think about those 49ers teams coming right out of the 2000s, them early 2012s with Jim Harbaugh. Yeah. They had Dante Whitner, who was Dante Hittner. They took the W off his name, and Deshaun Golden. Those are true natural-born crash outs playing safety. They literally are trying to take your head off. And then you go to the Legion of Boom. Probably the two biggest crash outs at safety of all time with Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas, who was hitting anything moving. If you just get bored one day, just go back and look at Legion of Boom, hits, safeties. Don't go look at nobody else. Forget Bobby Wagner, forget Cliff Averill, Michael Bennett and all them. Just look at Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor.
That's the greatest defensive backfield of all time. I'm just going to go ahead and say it.
I'm like, bro.
You can name some, but I promise you it's not. Cam Chancellor was a linebacker at safety. He's 6'4", 6'5", 235?
6'4", 230, moving just as fast as everybody else, and can play man-to-man. He can play man-to-man.
Man, really, really good.
They put him on Gronk.
Yeah, he playing man-to-man better than some corners.
Better than they corners.
Yeah.
Better than Brandon Browning, and Brandon Browning was good.
Yeah,
think about how big that's why they were so cold like that. That's why they took the greatest offense in history, which is the 2012 Denver Broncos. Peyton Manning broke every record you could break, 55 touchdowns with some regular guys out there. He took that team, and they didn't score a touchdown in the Super Bowl because they got Sherman, who's 6'3". They got Brandon Browning, who's 6'4", at the other corner. Then you got Cam Chancellor, who's 6'4", 6'5", at safety. Where are you throwing? And the smallest dude out there, Earl Thomas, is hitting the hardest. Is hitting the hardest. He literally caved Rob Gronkowski. He's one of the strongest, biggest tight ends we've ever seen in the league. He actually caved his chest in. Like literally caved his chest in and made him be out for a couple of months.
Yeah.
Because he actually caved this guy's chest in.
It's insane. And then you got Marshawn on the other side of the ball. You can't stop Marshawn.
Yeah, no. And then on the other side, you matching the same intensity
with a running back.
With Marshawn Lynch, who's one of the hardest runners of all time. Now I don't have my dad chime in now on the topics. He done text me and said hardest hitting safety of all time, Jack Tatum on the Raiders. Now that ain't no lie. That ain't no lie. Jack Tatum is the hardest hitting.
He is the hardest hitter.
He ain't the best safety of all time.
Yeah,
I'm still putting Ed Reed up there, but hardest hitting, nah, Jack Tatum real crash out. And then these dudes was on real drugs back then. I mean, this ain't no. They actually ready to crash out for real. They not even thinking about wasn't no CTE information, wasn't no none of that.
That crack was hitting different.
What? Man, they don't know what's going on. Yeah. They on real drugs. Walter Payton already told all of us that they had a bowl of pills they would pass around the locker room. You just stick your hand in and grab some out and eat.
They real life popping pills, baby.
They on real drugs and wasn't no CTE information out.
None of it.
They are coming downhill and putting their helmet on your helmet. Yeah. As fast as they can.
Hey, the helmets were squishy too, baby.
Yeah, the helmets wasn't even nothing like.
They
was past the squishy ones then because this the 80s.
Oh yeah, it's the 80s. Yeah.
This is the hard actual rock helmets.
Yeah.
This is like you get hit in the face with a rock right now, and they coming full speed downhill.
The helmets look squishy.
Yeah,
they made them look squishy.
Hey, Jack Tatum changed lives. Yeah. Jack Tatum changed people's trajectories in their lives. Some people went and got real jobs.
Heads up with Earl Campbell.
I think he did.
By the end zone.
Man,
Earl got into the end zone, but
Jack Tatum changed people. He made people go get jobs.
Yeah.
Some people had to go and get jobs after getting hit by Jack Tatum and Rodney Lott as well on the Niners. They changed people's lives. Some people say, hey, man, I don't think this football thing is for – I know I made it to the league. I don't think this is for me anymore. I'm going to go start an accounting firm. I don't think this is for me anymore because I can't even think, and it's been a week since this dude just hit me in the head the other day. So, man, shout out to all the decades of great NFL football, like you said, 70s and up. I don't want to talk. I'm not going to do like Mad Dog Russo and start talking about Johnny Unitas. Man, these dudes –
Bronco Nagurski.
Yeah, man, these dudes was playing kicker and quarterback.
We ain't trying to hear
like
that.
High school. Like, that's crazy. Like,
the game was still segregated. We wasn't even able to play football. So
helmets were squishy.
Yeah.
The game was segregated. So, no, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that at all. But definitely from 70s up, shout out to all the, man, great. It's legends. In each decade, I ain't disrespecting none of those decades. It's legends in each one of them, especially going from the 70s and up. But for my opinion, I like 2000s era of football. Folks, still got a lot of good games on the schedule for college football and for the NFL. We got a few minutes left here on the show. Want to start in the NCAA, though, college football. Still talk about some of these good games going on. Like we just said earlier today, Colorado beat Oklahoma State 52-0. Man, I hate that they lost. I hate that they lost last week to Kansas because I really feel like Colorado could have gave some teams some problems if they got into the college football playoffs because of this offense, because of how explosive this offense was. But that's the thing in college football. It's a week-to-week thing, and you lose a couple weeks, you could be out of it, especially if you're not playing in one of the power conferences they consider, even though I think Big 12 is right up there and competing with the Big 10. The Big 10 is very top-heavy, and those teams at the top of the Big 10 could smack everybody in the Big 12. But it's all the rest of them. It's about 16 teams in the Big 10, and the rest of them are garbage.
There's really only 2 top teams, honestly, in the Big 10 that can beat everybody else, probably in the Big 12, and that's Oregon and Ohio State. Everybody else, they're going to either lose or it's going to be a very, very close game.
I like Colorado against Indiana.
Yeah,
I like Colorado against Penn State.
Penn State, yeah.
Because they haven't showed me that they can do something spectacular.
I like Arizona State.
Especially I would take them over Indiana.
I think
Penn State, it'll be a close game. I think I wouldn't be shocked if Penn State won that.
And I'll be honest with the type of football that Arizona State plays, because they play very physical. They got the boy Scatterbo.
Yeah,
you ain't really it's gonna be hard to match that intensity playing up against Arizona State. I think that they could possibly even give Oregon or Ohio State a really good game, and I'm leaning more towards Oregon. For some reason, I just still think that their defense is kind of iffy.
Yeah.
Definitely got a good running back.
I don't see Oregon. They deserve to be number one.
Yeah.
They deserve to have that spot. They're going to be the number one team. I don't think Oregon's going to win the national championship.
No.
I'll just come out and say I don't think Oregon. If they win it, would I just be shocked? No. But if I had to pick against them, no.
Didn't Ohio State play again on neutral site or at Ohio
I think Ohio State's winning that. They're going to play Indianapolis for the Big Ten championship.
Yeah. So we're going to see when that happens.
I don't know if they're going to get that twice. Last time, they ain't have to travel nowhere. They got to play Ohio State in Oregon.
And they barely won that game.
game.
If Ohio State quarterback wouldn't have been so just
terrible. That was terrible. That's almost like what we just watched with the Bears.
Yesterday, yeah.
That's almost like what we just watched with the Bears.
Because they could have possibly won.
They definitely could have won that game.
They could have won that game.
So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked about that. I don't expect Oregon to be able to win that. But looking forward to some of these games on Saturday. Starting the day off at 11 o'clock. South Carolina and Clemson. We talked about it a little bit Wednesday. It's going to be a huge game. PJ, who do you got in this game? I'm rolling with South Carolina in this one. Even though Clemson's at home, I feel like SC's finna get an upset in this game tomorrow morning.
I got South Carolina, man. I love Lenore Sellers. I like the way he's playing. I feel like he's a freshman. I feel like he's one of the best freshman quarterbacks right now in college football.
Good running back with Sanders.
Good running back with Sanders. They on a roll over there.
Yeah.
The defense is just insane. I think and I'm a Texas fan, and I believe that we have the best defense in the SEC, but I would not be mad if somebody was to tell me that South Carolina got the best defense.
It reminds me of when they had Jadeveon there when he was young, because I think they were a little bit sorry by the time he got to his junior, senior year. But at the beginning, when he was playing, and they had him out there, I can't remember the corner they had, but they had DJ Swearinger as safety, smacking people. This reminds me of that defense.
South Carolina, they're physical, bro. They real physical, and the offense is just explosive. I really feel like their offense is kind of slept on when you speak on just explosive offenses right now.
Yeah,
people talk about them, but people really need to go just watch these guys when they play. And that's the reason why right now, I mean, they still got a chance to get into the college football playoff. You know, they got a better bid out of any 3-loss team.
Yeah, them and Bama.
So, I got South Carolina against Clemson. Clemson, they were in a very, very, very soft conference in the ACC this year. And they honestly didn't really play nobody really in the ACC. I feel like SMU and Miami played better teams than they did.
Yeah, Clemson ain't play nobody. They played Georgia at the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
But I mean, they got smacked by Georgia, so that's not one you want to bring up as far as great scheduling, because you end up getting smacked in that game. But that's a game, like you said, I think they can win. We all know the biggest game tomorrow. There's a lot of good games tomorrow. Of course, Michigan and Ohio State. Hopefully Michigan can make that game interesting. Tennessee and Vanderbilt will be a more interesting game than what people think. Yeah. Alabama, Auburn is always, like Nick Saban said, that place is haunted. It's always going to be a good game.
All right, they playing
those
Auburn?
two. No, they playing at Alabama. They playing at Alabama.
Okay.
They playing at Tuscaloosa. So Alabama will win that one.
Yeah.
SMU and Cal is a sneaky one because Cal has had some moments in this year where they've tried to upset some people. I like Jaden Ott, they running back that they got out there. I think he's really good. That's another one of those people I talk about when I say that this running back draft class is not one that you have to get somebody in that top 3 because there's going to be at least 10 really good backs.
We named
coming out
the other day. You named what, like 16 running backs?
It's
a lot of.
You can legit get a day 1 starter in the 3rd or 4th round for sure in the 3rd, but you can definitely get a day 1 starter maybe on day 3 in the NFL draft at the running back position, which you can't say a lot. There hadn't been a lot of really great running back classes coming out, but I think this year is probably one of those premier ones. But lots of good games. Miami's going to have to play a tough closeout game playing against Syracuse. Syracuse, one of them sneaky kind of slept-on teams. They're not a bad team at all. I like when they went and got that quarterback from Ohio State. He left and went over there. They got a new coach. They're doing their thing. They're 8-3, and they're playing at Syracuse. So Miami's going to have their hands full in that one. Arizona State's going to take care of business and close out against Arizona, even though Arizona is trash. And Kansas State and Iowa State is going to be a big game as well. That's potentially for Big 12 championship. Yeah. The winner of that game could potentially go to the Big 12 championship. Potentially, still so many different odds and layouts that can happen in the Big 12, and but that's going to be a big one for it. But the game of the week tomorrow, we all know, is Texas versus Texas A&M, a rivalry that is probably one of the biggest rivalries in college football that the fans obviously got robbed of these last couple of years. And when A&M left to the SEC, but now that Texas is now in the SEC, this rivalry gets reignited, a rivalry that's bigger than Texas-Oklahoma. That's just kind of what we had to get stuck with because Texas A&M left the Big 12. So we got stuck with that Texas. Oh, and not saying that's not a big rivalry. It's always been that. But A&M in Texas is real hate from the fans, teachers, everybody. Nobody likes it. People that go to Texas don't like people that go to Texas A&M and vice versa. So with this rivalry being ignited and with the stakes being like they are, because Texas is going to have to win this game. They're probably going to get into the Big 12 championship regardless, maybe, and that's still a strong maybe. But in order to fully ensure that, they're going to have to come out here and beat this Texas A&M team tomorrow. So what do you think about this game, just previewing the game tomorrow?
And I've been watching hype videos all week. I'm so ready for this game. Saturday, man, they could have skipped Friday.
No, for real.
I'm ready for Saturday. Yeah, bro, I'm excited because we've been waiting for 13 years, and originally, them dudes down that way, the Formers, they ran from us and went to the SEC because they wanted to establish themselves in the SEC as, a big dog. Because in the Big 12, they never really was that. They was always under us, under several teams. I wouldn't even just say us. I mean, Oklahoma, to me, pretty much ran the Big 12 since its, creation. And then you got teams like Oklahoma State that'll be good. You got teams like a Tech that'll be good. And them never really had that shine, bro.
No.
In the Big 12.
Even Baylor had their run.
Yeah, Baylor even had a run eventually, even though, they was gone by that time. But, yeah, and them never had that run in the Big 12 where it was
Nebraska.
like, okay. Yeah, Kansas State even had time.
Oh, yeah, a few runs.
With Sproles and them.
Yeah.
But they went to the SEC to establish themselves, and they didn't do that.
Nope.
Not at all. I feel like maybe the first, 2 years because they had Manziel.
Yeah.
But they never really, they never really did that, Yeah, they beat Alabama, just a few times throughout.
I think they won 11-2 that year.
Yeah.
That they beat Bama with Manziel. But you had Manziel. He one of the best college football players of all time.
Yeah. And they were supposed to continue that afterwards, but they never did.
Nope.
Even the times that they did beat Alabama after that, it'll still be kind of a down year because they weren't really in national, champion contention at all. Mm-hmm. And so they were the only team, if I'm not mistaken, that whenever Texas and OU was supposed to be coming into the SEC, they were the only team that voted for them not to be in the SEC. That just goes to show how much haters that them dudes in College
That's
Station
real
is.
hate.
They got real hate for us, bro. We would never do that to y'all. We would have never done that to y'all, you know what I'm saying? We would have let y'all go ahead and come into the conference, but they hate on us so bad that they voted for us not to be in the SEC because they know what time it is. We got NIL, you know, we got every dude, every boy in Texas want to come to UT before they go to A&M.
Oh, for sure.
That shouldn't even be a debate. Nobody want to go down there. Dudes want to come to UT, the real UT.
Yeah.
They want to come play with us, man. Go live in Austin and everything, you know, live luxury. You know what I mean? So I'm happy, man. I'm ready for this game. Man. I'm excited. I got my Texas gear ready. You know what I'm saying, for tomorrow. I'm wearing it all day. I'm getting up early. I'm having my Texas stuff on all day. So I'm excited for the game. I got us winning, but we really got to come out and play hard, bro. Quinn, it's all.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to bring up. Was Quinn? What you think Quinn Ewers got to do, man? Because he, you know, it's been shaky, and then didn't he get a little lumped up a little bit in that last game against Kentucky?
He hurt his kneecap or something like that, or his ankle. I think it was his ankle. They said he good. I've been listening to the Inside Texas. I've been listening to a few of them. You know, Longhorn Network, everybody, Texas Insider.
Yeah,
and they've been saying that he's going to be good going into the game. I don't know if they still got him listed as questionable, but he's for sure playing. We're going to live and die on what Quinn we get tomorrow.
Yeah,
that's really the only way that we're going to lose this game. We're going to live and die on which Quinn we get. If we can get the Quinn that went into Tuscaloosa last year and beat Alabama, or the Quinn that went into Michigan and beat them in the big house this year, then we're going to win this game. I even go on a limb and say even the Quinn for the first half of Vanderbilt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was hitting on all cylinders. I don't think he.
I would just say the first half of this season until they got to Georgia.
Yeah,
honestly.
to Georgia, yeah.
Like you said, the Michigan one for sure. If he plays like that,
then we good. We're gonna win the game because I really just don't see them going up and down the field on our defense.
I agree.
And dude's been talking crazy all week. A lot of the experts or whatever got us losing this game. And the crazy part about it, I seen a person from Georgia say that our defense is improving. He said an unproven.
That's the best part of this team.
An unproven Texas defense. They saying that them dudes gonna go up and down the field on our defense, who is number one in almost every category.
Like, I mean,
you better off just saying that they gonna blitz us and gonna sack Quinn multiple times. I'll take that.
And you know, when they say that unproven and Texas ain't played anybody, I get the argument. I'm not agreeing because, like I said, if you're in the SEC, none of these games are easy because we're seeing everybody in the SEC lose to people that they ain't supposed to lose to. Texas is the only team that hasn't lost to a team that they ain't supposed to lose to. That could happen tomorrow, but we don't know, and I don't expect it to happen. But every other team in the SEC has lost to somebody that you did not pick them to lose against. Now, they did not play. Texas didn't get to play in Missouri. They didn't play in LSU. They didn't play in Alabama. They ain't play Ole Miss. So I get the argument of people saying, oh, they had a cupcake schedule.
Who all played them?
But this is the SEC.
Yeah.
And we've seen Florida beat people. We've seen Arkansas beat people. We've seen Vanderbilt beat Alabama. We've seen Oklahoma beat Alabama. We've seen Kentucky beat people this year. And they're 1-7. So in the SEC. So we've seen everybody beat somebody. So I'm not going to be the person that says Texas ain't played anybody. If you want to say that other teams in the SEC have had a harder schedule, that's true. But that same thing applies for an Oregon. That same thing applies for an Ohio State. That same thing applies for Miami. So don't pick on Texas and pick them to be the ones that, they beat the teams in front of them. Quinn Ewers ain't make the schedule. Steve Sarkisian ain't make the schedule.
And I just seen that we just beat the most bowl eligible teams in all of college football. So how are we not playing nobody? Then they say we haven't beat nobody ranked. A lot of the teams, some of the teams that we did play were ranked at the time.
Vanderbilt was ranked and Oklahoma was ranked.
Michigan was ranked.
Michigan was 10 in this nation when y'all beat them.
We had teams that was ranked. It's not our fault that these teams didn't live up to expectations that they had on them going into the season. That's really not our fault. And some of them teams, like a Vanderbilt, to me, that's still a win for them in their season if you really just know about the Vanderbilt program and where they've came.
Oh, that's definitely a win for them.
You know what I mean? Arkansas beat Tennessee.
Yeah,
Kentucky beat somebody. These teams,
somebody.
It's ironic, bro, because all the teams that we've beaten actually have beaten multiple teams in the SEC in the last few weeks.
Yeah, especially if you're talking about Florida and Arkansas, they've upset a bunch of people. And then you look at Oklahoma blowing out Bama.
Yeah,
so it's crazy. So like I said, I get the argument. I get it because they haven't played anybody outside of Georgia, and they're finna play them at A&M. That's in the complete top 9 of the SEC. So I get the argument, but the SEC is tough, and then they're 10-1. It ain't like they played the schedule and then they're 7-3. Because I would agree with y'all there. They're 10-1. They're beating people though. They're going out there and getting wins. And this A&M game is going to be the toughest game outside of Georgia that they've had to play all year because that environment is going to be ridiculous. They got to come out and they got to stop the Marcel Reed kid.
Yeah,
that's all what it's going to depend on because honestly, nobody else in that offense scares you. They're going to have to do something with they're going to have to do something with Nick Sorensen. Yeah. He's a problem on that defensive line, and they do have a good D line. But like you said, if Quinn plays like how we know he can play at times, obviously his stock is falling in some people's eyes. But this is who I always thought Quinn Ewers was, so it wasn't me that thinking his stock was dropping because I figured him to be this guy. Not saying that this guy is a bad person. I just don't think he was the best quarterback coming out of this class. But he's good enough to go out here and win. He's good enough to go win a national championship, especially with this roster. This roster's loaded. All they got to do is go out there and take care of business. Will they do it? We'll figure that out tomorrow. They play at 6:30 p.m., the primetime game, obviously the biggest game of the entire day tomorrow. Can't wait to be able to see that game. Texas versus Texas A&M. PJ picked Texas. I got Texas in this game as well. I think with Marcel Reed, he's a good dude. Just think he's too young, too early for him. If they're going to make him be a thrower. If I like Marcel Reed, but not against Texas defense. I really don't like nobody against Texas defense. So
man, Colin Simmons and what's my boy Anthony Hill.
Man, game records.
It's scary. It's scary playing against
the dude out of Lake Travis, the other DN out of there, the big white dude. Like they got
our DBs are shut down. Jade Barron.
I think they're ranked like number one DBs in the nation because by Pro Football Focus.
Yeah.
They've been playing crazy. Shout out to another Centex boy, Jelani McDonald, got a pick last week.
Incredible. Laid
out for a pick, man. So I mean, they
Kobe Black been playing really good.
Yeah, Black been playing. Obviously, Trey been leading his team in rushing.
Yeah.
So yeah, man.
He needs to be the starting running back. Them other two, man. I'm telling you,
Jaden Blue is not good. Let's just start with Jaden Blue's not good. So Wiseman needs to play.
He fumbling I'm talking about every time almost.
I'm not a fan of Jaden Blue's game.
He get a good run. I gotta be scared that he gonna fumble. And then the other guy, he young, he a freshman, but I gotta be scared that he gonna fumble too.
Yeah.
Trey not fumbling out there.
No, Trey gonna tote the rock,
it's
man.
Right here.
Yeah, Trey go tote the rock, man. He been doing his thing out there. So, like we said, we both got Texas winning. That game is tomorrow. We got a few minutes left. Want to look at a couple of these NFL games on the slate for tomorrow. Obviously, we said today Kansas City got that win over the Raiders. We'll break that one down more on Monday because I ain't got a chance to go and watch none of the film yet, so I don't want to say anything than just guess based off the stats. But looking forward at some of these games, some sneaky good games. I always try to go to those first. A couple sneaky good games in this one. The Chargers and Falcons is going to be sneaky good game in that one. Chargers been playing some really good football. Falcons got to get back in the win column. They're literally on the verge of letting Tampa Bay sneak back in and winning this division, which is crazy because their whole team has been hurt. If Atlanta does that, it just further proves my point that I said at the beginning of the season that I don't think Atlanta is good. They started out, 5-2, and everybody was like, man, this Atlanta team, no, they're not. Kept telling y'all they're not. They started out 5-2. They've gone 1-3 since then. I've never been sold on them. I will never be sold on Kirk Cousins. Just too much film.
Why don't they just give the ball to Bijan?
And that's the main reason why I cannot root for this Falcons team. You have one of the most talented. We're watching the same thing with Saquon at the Giants. It's just not the Giants. I ain't gonna put that on nobody. Ain't nobody the Giants. But we're watching it. It almost feels like wasted talent with Bijan. No idea why they don't give him the football. I like the Chargers in that one, though. Arizona, Minnesota is one of them sneaky good games as well. Kyler Murray really showing that he is a good quarterback this year and how he's been playing. They're playing Minnesota. Minnesota's 9-2, though, and Minnesota's at home. So I think Minnesota will get that one. But two of the games I want to look at here, First is probably the best game, especially since Monday Night Football. We're getting Denver versus Cleveland. Like sometimes I just don't know who's picking these games. Monday night has almost become the new Thursday night.
Yeah, Monday
football.
night used to be actually powerful.
Yeah. Cleveland versus Denver. Y'all really want us to watch Bo Nix versus Jameis Winston?
I love Jameis, but come on.
Yeah, shout out Jameis, man. He just did a top 5 of his Thanksgiving food. Did you see Xavier Legette talk about Thanksgiving food?
Man.
They asked him what he want. He said his favorite part he can't wait to get back to is the raccoon. He said coon. I'm just letting y'all know. He said the raccoon. He said they done took the clothes off him, washed him up, and dressed him up. I said, oh, yeah, this dude is serious.
That raccoon be good.
Man, I'm never going to figure it out. I won't ever figure it out. Raccoons eat out the trash can. Y'all crazy think I'm finna go eat some raccoon, man. Y'all are absolutely nuts. He said that's what he couldn't wait on. He said that's the best part of Thanksgiving.
I ain't gonna say that's the
man. He said that's what he's waiting on.
That's what he waiting on.
It's some coon.
That's crazy.
Cause bro, that is this dude. Y'all got to give him the football.
Yeah.
Anybody that is anticipating eating raccoon, he don't care about a lot of things. Y'all got to give him the ball. I dang near put him at running back. Yeah. He said forget the run. He said forget the turkey, mac and cheese,
chicken.
He said I'm looking forward to that coon. He said my cousin just called me and said we killed one yesterday. I said, oh, he's serious.
They went and caught the coon.
They caught him, killed him. He said took the clothes off him.
Yeah.
So they done skinned him, cleaned him up, and that thing was the first thing he went to on the plate. Come on, dog. Like I feel like at some point you got too much money, bro.
Gotta give him the ball, man.
You got to give him the ball. I don't care what you're doing. If the Panthers are 3-8, you want to be 4-8.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to get that dude the ball.
That real Geechee.
He just ate for real. He just ate raccoon as his choice. That's what he chose to do. He chose, and he said that's what he going for first. He couldn't wait. He said his mouth was watering thinking about it. You got to get that dude the football, man.
He said his mouth was watering?
He said his mouth watering thinking about it.
That is diabolical.
Thinking about a raccoon. Carolina, you want to win some football games? Get that dude the football, man. Because he don't care about a lot of things in life if he doing that. You got to find a way to give him the ball. But two games I want to look at, the best game on the whole weekend slate is Philadelphia at Baltimore. That is going to be a really good game. Can't wait to watch that one. No idea how that didn't get the Sunday night game, but I'm not the one making the schedule for the football, obviously, even though the Sunday night game is a good one, and I'll go to that one next. Philly has been playing really good football, honestly been playing the best in the league. On Wednesday when I did my top 5 list, Wayne put Philly at number 1. I had Detroit at number 1. He put Philly there, and I ain't even mad at it. Philly's been playing great football. They started out the season 2-2. Everybody was questioning what's going to happen, even though they had a lot of injuries, and they won every single game since then. 9-2 on the season. Saquon Barkley obviously has been doing what Saquon Barkley does. We're going to look at the 2 best running backs in the league playing against each other, and Saquon Barkley and Derrick Henry. Man, Baltimore is at home, and I want to take Baltimore in this game. But the way Phillips, I got to roll with Baltimore in this one. This is too close. This is too close to call. I would not put 1 cent on this game because I don't know which way this game is going to go. I like Baltimore just because they're at home in this one, and Philly's won 7 or 8 in a row. So, you got to feel like eventually it's going to start to tail a little bit. But, man, this is going to be a close game. I really don't know which direction to go in this game or who to go with in this game. I'll say Baltimore just because maybe Darius Slay is out and maybe that'll hurt them a little bit in this game. And Devontae Smith is still questionable. I need him to come back because my fantasy team been hurting since he's been out. But I'll roll with Baltimore for right now. But this is going to be a super close game. PJ, what you think?
This game is going to be really good. I'm excited about this game. I'm always going to go for Baltimore. But I'm telling you, if this defense do not come ready,
man,
they're going to lose.
Yeah.
And they need to just give the ball to Derrick Henry. Just give him the ball, bro. Because I promise you, the Eagles going to give the ball to Saquon.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to give it to him. So just give the ball to Derrick Henry, bro. We really should be just running option. Pick your poison. Pick your poison.
Because how are you going to pick?
Like, that, I would really be doing that, man. Option, man. We running option. We look like Georgia Tech out there.
No, for real.
Like, I don't get what we be doing sometimes with Baltimore, but I'm picking Baltimore because I really think that Lamar is going to have a really, really legendary game this week. When you start questioning Lamar, man, definitely when he, going up against other quarterbacks in the league that they consider as like, some of the best, he really stand on business.
Oh, yeah.
And so
every time.
I think, man, going into this game, he's going to do something crazy. He's going to have a really good game. I think Derrick Henry, just like this defense for the Ravens haven't seen a good running back like Saquon, of course, so far this season. I don't think that the Eagles have seen a running back like Derrick Henry. And I'm promise you, me personally, I'd rather try to hit Saquon before I try to hit Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to hit either one.
At least Saquon going to try to make you miss.
He's going to probably try to make you miss.
Derrick Henry don't care anything about making
none
you
of
miss.
that. He's coming.
Just try to hit him,
Yeah.
and you figure out.
Still form. He's gonna truck you, whichever one, man. So I got Baltimore, but it's gonna be a really close game, man. This game right here is gonna be. It can be high scoring, or it can be just a very low.
That's why I said I wouldn't put a cent on this game. Baltimore is -3 in this game. I'm not even gonna give y'all advice for y'all to try to blame me for nothing because I don't know which direction this game is gonna go. If I just had to pick an X factor, the best player in the game is Lamar Jackson. So if I just had to pick somebody, I guess I would go with him because he's the best player in the game. So that game is at 3:00 on Sunday. Huge game, the best game of the weekend. Another really good game, probably second best game of this weekend, is going to be San Francisco and Buffalo on Sunday Night Football. They're playing at Buffalo. It's going to be freezing.
Are they playing at Buffalo?
They're playing at Buffalo.
Oh, Buffalo.
So it's going to be freezing out there. San Francisco is always going to find a way to make it a good game. But, man, this has got to be the most inconsistent San Francisco team that I've seen with Kyle Shanahan, man. I mean,
Buffalo going to beat them by 2 touchdowns. It's going to be snowing out there.
They're a 6-point favorite in the game. So that says a lot that they gave them 6 points. They're a 6-point favorite. This is usually a game you see would be a 2-point favorite in the game. So they're a 6-point favorite. So they thinking Buffalo's going to come out here and do something. And why wouldn't you? With the way that they got beat down, only reason I'll say that it's a chance is because Brock Purdy's supposed to be playing in this game. Last week, I just kind of scratched that one out because my thing with San Francisco, the only thing I got mad about last week, because of course they're going to lose to the Packers with a backup quarterback in. Only thing I got mad at is the quarterback that they started. Why didn't y'all start Josh Dobbs? Josh Dobbs has played good in every backup scenario that he's been in. I thought that was the reason y'all put him on the team.
It's going to be snowing out there, bro.
Oh, yeah, I know it's going to. If it was snowing in Green Bay or it was about to snow, it's going to snow in Buffalo. Buffalo will snow like, 8 months out the year? 7 months out the year?
It's the winter storm that's coming through. There ain't even all the snow there.
Hey. Well, but see, in my opinion, that should give San Francisco more of a chance because y'all need to run the football, bro. Y'all need to be doing all this extra.
You think them dudes built for that snow like that?
I think San Francisco, the way that they played, the team is built for that, but I think Buffalo right now is honestly just better than them.
Yeah.
Like, just straight up, I think Buffalo's a better football team than they are right now. And Josh Allen been playing great. He's an MVP candidate. Some people has him as number one. I don't think so, but he's been playing good football, and Buffalo's used to it. They're used to playing in negative degree weather. So I like Buffalo in this game, even though San Francisco, I would not be shocked if they come out there and get a win, man, because they're desperate. When San Francisco starts getting desperate, we've seen them go on runs before. Will they do it this year? I don't know. They haven't shown me anything to say that. And I think, matter of fact, never mind, I'm picking Buffalo, man. I already picked Buffalo, but I'm picking it for sure. Purdy is expected to play, but apparently Nick Bosa and Trent Williams are out.
Oh, yeah.
It's Buffalo. It's Buffalo. Let's stop playing. Buffalo's getting the win here. Buffalo's going to move to, 10 wins now on the season after getting that.
2 losses.
They've been playing some good football. So I can't even be mad at them for being a 6-point favorite, especially seeing that Trent Williams and what's his name is out. So Buffalo moved to 10-2. They've been playing really good football. They're right there for still winning the AFC.
Could you have them at number 1 right now? Because they did beat the Chiefs a few weeks ago.
In my top 5?
Could you have them? If someone was to have them at number 1, could they do that?
I wouldn't, because Buffalo has played a lot of bad teams.
Yeah.
As good as they play, and they do get a lot of credit for beating Kansas City. I do give them a lot of credit. But a lot of their win streak, the rest of their win streak outside of Kansas City was right before that was Indianapolis, Miami, Seattle, Tennessee, and New York.
Nah,
that was their whole win streak.
Bad.
That's terrible. That's what they've been beating up a lot of. They didn't make the schedule, but they have been playing a lot of bad teams.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Yeah, they've played the worst.
Yeah.
In the AFC, especially if you're talking about the Jets and the Titans.
Yeah, for sure.
They've played the worst in the NFC. Now the end of their schedule is going to be tougher because they They just beat Kansas City, but now they got San Francisco. They got the Rams, who ain't no pushover.
No.
They got Detroit. That's going to be a huge game.
Big game.
And then after that, it's the Patriots, Jets, and Patriots. So they'll win their last 3.
Okay.
But they'll finish 13 wins, 14 wins on the season. So, but I like Buffalo in this game, and that's going to be probably the second best game of the Sunday slate. So, folks, I want to thank everybody for tuning in with us today on the special Black Friday edition. The La Vega football game will not be on 94.5 FM tonight. You can catch all of the action on La Vega's ISD's website. You can go on there to catch them. They're playing Silsbee tonight. Obviously, I like La Vega in this game, not only because we've been covering La Vega all year long, but they just beat West Orange Stark by 30.
And they rolling.
And West Orange Stark beat Silsbee by 30 in the season. They're in the same district. So if I just had to pick based off of that, I'm going to go with La Vega because they just smacked the team that smacked Silsbee a few weeks ago. So I like La Vega in this game. But you'll be able to watch all the action on La Vega ISD's website. So go over there and check out the game. We will be back in action on Monday right here to fully break down this college football weekend, this rivalry week in college football, and this NFL weekend that we have. We'll try to sneak in a little bit of NBA too on Monday. So make sure you guys getting ready for that. I want to thank Kyrell for coming on here with me earlier, PJ for jumping on, coming in the studio with me as well. We'll be back on Monday, folks, so stay tuned. Look out for us on Monday. We'll be back. Everybody have a great evening and happy holidays, everybody out there.
Central Texas home for sports. It's Centex Sports Network and Infinity Sports. Catch all your in-depth sports analysis with the best. The hottest sports show in the evening is Centex Primetime, hosted by Jalen Gillis.
Act like y'all.
Weekdays,